talking about precautionary measures. The chief ministers of various states are sitting together and they are holding meetings, and they are holding emergency meetings as well, from Delhi to Punjab to other states. There are meetings being held at the same time. Very, very shortly, viewers, very soon we'll be hearing the health minister speak in the parliament, in the both houses of parliament. So we are waiting for that to take place. We are standing by for the health minister's statement in the parliament. And as we cover this story on Republic TV, as we count down to the health minister's statement, and then we get you all the updates of the prime minister's review meeting on COVID-19. Let's tell you how this all started. Now, remember that China is facing a huge wave of COVID-19. Initially, when COVID-19 first broke out, they had the situation under control. That's what they told the world. But it seems as if they have not been able to do much as they claimed. In fact, waves and waves of COVID-19 cases are emerging in China. Many deaths have been reported.
पिछले 3 वर्षों में वायरस की निरंतर बदलती प्रकृति ने वैश्विक स्वास्थ्य के लिए एक खतरा पैदा कर दिया है, जिसने लगभग हर देश को प्रभावित किया है। पिछले कई दिनों से पूरी दुनिया में कोविड-19 के केसों में वृद्धि दर्ज की जा रही है, लेकिन पिछले 1 साल में भारत में कोविड केसों में सतत कमी दर्ज होती रही है। वर्तमान में प्रत्येक दिन औसतन 153 कोविड के नए केस पूरे देश में दर्ज हो रहे हैं, जिसके सामने पूरी दुनिया में प्रतिदिन 5,87,587 लाख कोविड के नए केस दर्ज हो रहे हैं। जापान, साउथ कोरिया, यूएसए, फ्रांस, ग्रीस, इटली जैसे देशों में कोविड-19 के केसों में और कोविड से मृत्यु की संख्या में सतत वृद्धि देखी जा रही है। पिछले कई दिनों से मीडिया में भी चीन में बड़ी तादाद में कोविड के केस और कोविड मृत्यु की खबरें छप रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय ने प्रोएक्टिव, प्रीएम्प्टिव, ऑल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड ऑल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच के साथ शुरू से ही कोविड-19 महामारी का मैनेजमेंट किया है और इनके बहुत अच्छे परिणाम भी हमें मिला है। तकनीकी सहायता के अलावा भारत सरकार ने नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन, राज्य आपदा प्रतिक्रिया कोष, इमरजेंसी कोविड रिस्पांस पैकेज और प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिशन के इत्यादि से राज्यों को वित्तीय सहायता प्रदान करके राज्यों को कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई के उनके प्रयासों में लगातार सहायता प्रदान की है। केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार ने साथ मिलकर 220.2 यानी कि 220 करोड़ कोविड वैक्सीन के टीके लगाकर कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया है, जिसमें पात्रता वाले 90% आबादी को दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं और 22.35 करोड़ आबादी को प्रिकॉशन डोज भी दिया जा चुका है। कोविड-19 के नियमन में चल रहे लगातार प्रयत्नों के अंतर्गत और विश्व में बढ़ रहे कोविड के केसों को देखते हुए केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय वैश्विक स्थिति पर नजर रख रहा है। कोविड-19 के बदलते वेरिएंट से सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के सामने जो चुनौतियां पैदा हो रही है, उस पर सरकार लगातार कदम उठा रही है। राज्यों को भी स्थानीय स्तर पर सामुदायिक निगरानी बढ़ाने के लिए और कोविड को नियंत्रित करने के लिए सलाह दी जा रही है। राज्यों को जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग बढ़ाकर सभी पॉजिटिव केसों का जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग करने की सलाह दी गई है, जिससे अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रिस्पायरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाना चाहिए। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे पर विदेश से आने वाले हवाई यात्रियों के 2% कोविड आरटीपीसीआर रैंडम सैंपलिंग भी आज शुरू कर दी गई है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी के समर्थ नेतृत्व में भारत पहले से ही अमल में टेस्ट, ट्रैक, ट्रीट, वैक्सीनेशन, कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर का पालन नीति के साथ कोविड मैनेजमेंट कर रहा है, उसे आगे भी चालू रखेंगे। इस वैश्विक महामारी के नियंत्रण के लिए हम संकल्पित हैं और इसके लिए सभी आवश्यक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। मैं सदन के सभी साथियों से सरकार के इन प्रयासों में सहयोग चाहता हूं। सभी माननीय सदस्य लोगों के बीच में जागरूकता लाए कि वैश्विक महामारी अभी पूरी तरह से खत्म नहीं हुई है और हमें कोविड वैक्सीन का प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाने के उपरांत सभी को सतर्क रहकर कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना चाहिए। हमारा दुश्मन कोविड वायरस समय समय पर अपना स्वरूप बदल रहा है और हमें एक साथ मिलकर दृढ़ संकल्प के साथ उसके खिलाफ अपनी सामूहिक लड़ाई जारी रखने की लगातार जरूरत है।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री निशिकांत दुबे जी। मेरा आप सभी से निवेदन है कि आप अपने स्थान पर बैठ जाइए। आप अपने स्थान पर बैठ जाइए। निशिकांत जी।
तथा देवघर भाग के पिछड़ेपन की ओर मैं आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। यह भाग मेरे लोकसभा चुनाव क्षेत्र में आता है। इस क्षेत्र में शिक्षा की स्थिति अत्यंत दुर्लक्षित है, जबकि वास्तव में प्राचीन समय से यह संपूर्ण क्षेत्र हमारी प्राचीन शिक्षा तथा सामाजिक नीति नियमों के प्रसार का।
All right, so we heard that Health Minister speak there. We were waiting for this address to come in and very important points being raised at this point of time where the Health Minister is saying that we're creating awareness on precautionary dose and random sampling in the airports have commenced. And also, very important point, viewers, COVID is not eliminated yet. That's what the Health Minister is saying, that the COVID is not eliminated yet. And remember, we're tracking every update. Top doctor's body has also said it's high time to mask up, it's high time to maintain social distancing, and it's high time to avoid foreign travel in these times. The Health Minister speaking there and also saying the states must be alert in the coming new year, and states have been asked to conduct genome sequencing. So the Health Minister speaking there, and very soon, of course, we will be getting you more updates because the Prime Minister will be also holding the review meeting on the COVID-19 situation. And like we are telling you right now, the entire country is on high alert. Many states have been asked to make sure that they are preparing from ahead to make sure that this wave, this variant, the Omicron variant BF7 is contained in time instead of it not being able to be contained because of people not following protocols at this point of time. So the states have been informed to make sure that they are taking the right measures, including genome sequencing as well. So this variant can be contained. Remember that four cases of this variant has been found so far in India, and this variant was first found in China. And we will also be going across to all our reporters who are on ground as well. I'm being joined by my reporters who are getting us all the top updates at this time. Piyush Ori is going live with us right now. Piyush, you have been tracking the story very closely, and at this point of time, just take us through exactly what is happening in New Delhi itself. In fact, our reporters are near the international arrivals where they are seeing that random checking of passengers is happening. Piyush, what is happening where you are?
So thanks a lot for that. And yes, the most important point now, the most important challenge for the government now is to make sure that this virus does not spread. And for this now, the government is making sure that all the travelers who are coming from Far East countries, especially that from China and Japan, are being tested. Now, checking them in entirety will be difficult. So what they're making sure is that there is a technique of random sampling which is being done so that it has been made sure that this virus is not there in any of the travelers, and if it is found, they are being contained from there and then. So yes, the government has now started making preparations to make sure that this virus gets detected at the earliest, and from here on, this virus called BF7 of the Omicron variant does not spread and the dangers which this virus can cause does get curtailed to a great extent. Back to you in the studio.
Right, Piyush, and you're getting us on the top updates at this point of time. And Piyush, let's also talk a little bit about, what we can expect next. The Prime Minister will be also holding a review meeting. We are getting you all the updates because this is very, very important. The Prime Minister himself stepping in. That really shows that India has to commit now to stop more cases of COVID-19, Piyush.
So you rightly mentioned that yes, the Prime Minister has stepped in. In fact, there will be a very high-level meeting that will be conducted by the Prime Minister, in which all the ministers and the officials who are administering this entire preparation of COVID-19 will be present over there. But before this, there will also be a statement that will be made by the Health Minister, Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya, in both houses of the Parliament. Now, what we are being told is that he would be making the statement on the present situation of COVID-19 very soon in Lok Sabha, and from there on in Rajya Sabha. And from there, we would come to know about what exactly are the steps that are being taken by the government to make sure that the COVID-19 situation does not get deteriorated in India. Let me also make you sure that, of the situation, what we are seeing in China and Japan. The government has now finally stood up and have taken cognizance of it. In fact, there was a meeting that was conducted by Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya with his officials, in which he mentioned that COVID-19 situation is not over, and from here it is important now for us as individuals also to start taking preparations. Many of us may have now stopped wearing masks, but now taking cognizance of the entire situation, it is now incumbent upon us also to wear masks and get ourselves sanitized so that this virus does not spread. Back to you in the studio.
Right, Piyush, and so the Health Minister has spoken and he has made a couple of points. Following COVID protocols is very, very important right now. Viewers, this is a very strong message coming in from the centre. The Prime Minister also going to go ahead with that review meeting, which will happen very shortly. Let's go ahead and see what the Health Minister said a short while back. He made it very clear that the problem of COVID is not over yet, and India has to take all the precautions at this point of time to avoid a situation where more infections might happen.
वैश्विक कोविड महामारी को देखते हुए मैं सदन में एक स्टेटमेंट देना चाहता हूं। कोविड महामारी आज तक दुनिया के स्वास्थ्य और आजीविका को प्रभावित कर रही है। पिछले 3 वर्षों में वायरस की निरंतर बदलती प्रकृति ने वैश्विक स्वास्थ्य के लिए एक खतरा पैदा कर दिया है, जिसने लगभग हर देश को प्रभावित किया है। पिछले कई दिनों से पूरी दुनिया में कोविड-19 के केसों में वृद्धि दर्ज की जा रही है, लेकिन पिछले 1 साल में भारत में कोविड केसों में सतत कमी दर्ज होती रही है। वर्तमान में प्रत्येक दिन औसतन 153 कोविड के नए केस पूरे देश में दर्ज हो रहे हैं, जिसके सामने पूरी दुनिया में प्रतिदिन 5,87,587 लाख कोविड के नए केस दर्ज हो रहे हैं। जापान, साउथ कोरिया, यूएसए, फ्रांस, ग्रीस, इटली जैसे देशों में कोविड-19 के केसों में और कोविड से मृत्यु की संख्या में सतत वृद्धि देखी जा रही है। पिछले कई दिनों से मीडिया में भी चीन में बड़ी तादाद में कोविड के केस और कोविड मृत्यु की खबरें छप रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय ने प्रोएक्टिव, प्रीएम्प्टिव, ऑल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड ऑल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच के साथ शुरू से ही कोविड-19 महामारी का मैनेजमेंट किया है और इनके बहुत अच्छे परिणाम भी हमें मिला है। तकनीकी सहायता के अलावा भारत सरकार ने नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन, राज्य आपदा प्रतिक्रिया कोष, इमरजेंसी कोविड रिस्पांस पैकेज और प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिशन के इत्यादि से राज्यों को वित्तीय सहायता प्रदान करके राज्यों को कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई के उनके प्रयासों में लगातार सहायता प्रदान की है। केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार ने साथ मिलकर 220.2 यानी कि 220 करोड़ कोविड वैक्सीन के टीके लगाकर कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया है, जिसमें पात्रता वाले 90% आबादी को दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं और 22.35 करोड़ आबादी को प्रिकॉशन डोज भी दिया जा चुका है। कोविड-19 के नियमन में चल रहे लगातार प्रयत्नों के अंतर्गत और विश्व में बढ़ रहे कोविड के केसों को देखते हुए केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय वैश्विक स्थिति पर नजर रख रहा है। कोविड-19 के बदलते वेरिएंट से सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के सामने जो चुनौतियां पैदा हो रही है, उस पर सरकार लगातार कदम उठा रही है। राज्यों को भी स्थानीय स्तर पर सामुदायिक निगरानी बढ़ाने के लिए और कोविड को नियंत्रित करने के लिए सलाह दी जा रही है। राज्यों को जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग बढ़ाकर सभी पॉजिटिव केसों का जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग करने की सलाह दी गई है, जिससे अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रिस्पायरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाना चाहिए। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे पर विदेश से आने वाले हवाई यात्रियों के 2% कोविड RT-PCR रैंडम सैंपलिंग भी आज शुरू कर दी गई है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी के समर्थ नेतृत्व में भारत पहले से ही अमल में टेस्ट, ट्रैक, ट्रीट, वैक्सीनेशन, कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर का पालन नीति के साथ कोविड मैनेजमेंट कर रहा है, उसे आगे भी चालू रखेंगे। इस वैश्विक महामारी के नियंत्रण के लिए हम संकल्पित हैं और इसके लिए सभी आवश्यक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। मैं सदन के सभी साथियों से सरकार के इन प्रयासों में सहयोग चाहता हूं। सभी माननीय सदस्य लोगों के बीच में जागरूकता लाए कि वैश्विक महामारी अभी पूरी तरह से खत्म नहीं हुई है और हमें कोविड वैक्सीन का प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाने के उपरांत सभी को सतर्क रहकर कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना चाहिए। हमारा दुश्मन कोविड वायरस समय समय पर अपना स्वरूप बदल रहा है और हमें एक साथ मिलकर दृढ़ संकल्प के साथ उसके खिलाफ अपनी सामूहिक लड़ाई जारी रखने की लगातार जरूरत है।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री निशिकांत दुबे जी। मेरा आप सभी से निवेदन है कि आप अपने स्थान पर बैठ जाइए।
All of viewers, you heard the health minister speak there, so very, very important points being raised. And I just want to go straight to Madhurima. Madhurima is joining us live right now. Very good afternoon to you, Madhurima. You have been near the airport. You have seen what is happening there. In fact, a very strong precautionary measures being taken there that randomly international passengers are being checked. Madhurima, what are the other updates you're picking up?
Well, good afternoon to you too, Shivangi. And we just heard the health minister making a very important statement on the lower house of the parliament, where he categorically says that the Indian health ministry, the entire government is being very prudent. Their entire modus operandi is preemptive, and they are taking all steps to make sure that if a wave hits our country, if yet another COVID-19 wave hits our country, we are prepared, and which is why he said that all the states have been advised to send samples for genome sequencing, whereas the practice has already begun at the international airport in the national capital. He further goes on to say that the number of people who have been inoculated is around 200.20 crore, 20 crore people, and he has also asserted that the states have been advised to promote the inoculation of booster dose, and at the same time, he's requesting supports from all opposition parties to make sure that India is all prepared to combat COVID and fight if another battle pops up in front of us. Back to you, Shivangi.
Right, absolutely, Madhurima, and I'm also being joined by Aneri. Aneri, we're getting some news, some breaking updates coming in. The Telangana Health Minister will be holding a high-level review meeting on the COVID situation today evening. Multiple states holding review meetings. Aneri, what are the latest updates we're getting right now? Because we also know the festive season is not too far away.
Well, that's right, Shivangi. Festive season is not too far away, but now the situation in various countries, especially China, if we look at where we have been seeing the COVID numbers increasing day by day in China, and so definitely now the states have also been put on high alert, and that is the reason why Telangana Health Minister Harish Rao will also be holding a high-level review meeting in connection with the COVID situation in the state, and also they have been stating that they will take up all the precautionary measures which is needed to be, and also look into the COVID situation in the country and across various countries. So definitely now a high-level review meeting will be held by the Telangana Health Minister Harish Rao this evening, where he will be reviewing the situation, and also precautionary measures which are to be taken will be briefed. The authorities will be available there during the review meeting, and so we'll have to wait and watch in regard with what could be the next step by the Telangana government in this connection. But yes, as the central government has already come up with the guidelines that mask is mandatory in crowded areas, and also at the same time we have been seeing that airports and also random testing has also begun at various places, various states. So now definitely people also need to be very careful in this connection, and now we'll have to wait for the further guidelines from the state government, as Telangana Health Minister Harish Rao will be holding the review meeting in connection with the COVID situation in the state of Telangana this evening.
All right, viewers, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aneri, for getting us those updates right now. Of course, multiple states holding review meetings. That means that this situation needs to be controlled, and India taking that first step to make sure that the infections are being controlled. The Prime Minister's review meeting soon as well. Getting some big breaking coming in at this point of time, where we are learning that Jacqueline Fernandez has reached the Patiala House Court, viewers. Getting some big breaking coming in. Now, this will be Jacqueline's petition, which was filed for permission to go abroad, will be heard very shortly. Jacqueline Fernandez wants to go to Bahrain from December 23rd to January 5th to visit her mother. Getting some big breaking coming in. In fact, the visuals of that are also on your screen right now. These visuals coming in first on Republic at this point of time, where Jacqueline Fernandez is arriving at the court as we speak at this point of time. And we can also tell you, viewers, that this is a petition filed for permission to go abroad that will be heard very shortly. We can tell you that Jacqueline wants to go to Bahrain from December 23rd to January 5th to visit her ailing mother. And the visuals of that, of her arriving at court, has now come in for all our viewers. You can watch it first on Republic. Remember that Jacqueline Fernandez is being investigated by the ED in the 200 crore extortion case involving alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Multiple times her pleas to go abroad have been rejected. So right now she really has gone ahead, filed one more plea. This time she's saying that she has to go visit her ailing mother. On that note, viewers, time for a very short break. We continue to be live and breaking. Coming up on the other side, top health ministry sources say government to issue fresh guidelines for travellers from China. Plus, TMC leader mocks traditional Meghalaya attire. Assam se Himanta Biswa Sarma gives it back.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
टाइम पे खा लेना. और कल सुबह अपॉइंटमेंट है, भूलना मत.
अरे 2 दिन के लिए तो जा रहे हो.
हाँ, लेकिन ख्याल तो पूरी जिंदगी रखूंगा ना.
HDFC लाइफ एन्युटी प्लान्स के जॉइंट लाइफ फीचर के साथ रखिए अपनों का ख्याल हमेशा. HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
After a video of a heated argument between a passenger and an air hostess in Indigo's Delhi-bound international flight went viral, the airline has taken cognizance of this matter.
The Telangana Health Director Srinivas on Wednesday attributed the reduction in coronavirus cases in the country to Jesus Christ. TMC has mocked the Prime Minister's attire on his visit to Shillong. The Prime Minister was wearing a traditional Meghalaya outfit.
Massive protest was called out by Panchamsali Lingayat community in order to demand reservation in 2A category. They demand a reservation in education and in government jobs as well. Protests have now started moving from this location and now they will be going to Vidhan Sauda. Now Vidhan Sauda is 20 kilometers away from this location. Massive crowd is out here. They are leading towards Vidhan Sauda.
Hey, good afternoon and thank you for tuning in. You're watching the news at 2:30. I'm Suesha Savan. Doctors say there is no need to panic yet. However, the Indian Medical Association has issued a fresh advisory and COVID norms that must be followed, as we cannot be complacent anymore. Building up to that big meet that will be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he will review COVID preparedness. That and much more in this edition. As we get you the latest on how India is bracing to tackle COVID. The Health Minister, Mansukh Mandavia, has spoken on the very latest. Let's listen in.
वैश्विक कोविड महामारी को देखते हुए मैं सदन में एक स्टेटमेंट देना चाहता हूं। कोविड महामारी आज तक दुनिया के स्वास्थ्य और आजीविका को प्रभावित कर रही है। पिछले सामने पूरी दुनिया में प्रतिदिन 5.87 लाख कोविड के नए केस दर्ज हो रहे हैं। जापान, साउथ कोरिया, यूएसए, फ्रांस, ग्रीस, इटली जैसे देशों में कोविड-19 के केसों में और कोविड से मृत्यु की संख्या में सतत वृद्धि देखी जा रही है और कोविड से मृत्यु की संख्या में सतत वृद्धि देखी जा रही है। पिछले कई दिनों से मीडिया में भी चीन में बड़ी तादाद में कोविड के केस और कोविड मृत्यु की खबरें छप रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय ने प्रोएक्टिव, प्रीएम्प्टिव, होल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड होल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच के साथ शुरू से ही कोविड-19 महामारी का मैनेजमेंट किया है और इनके बहुत अच्छे परिणाम भी हमें मिले हैं। तकनीकी सहायता के अलावा भारत सरकार ने नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन, राज्य आपदा प्रतिक्रिया कोष, इमरजेंसी कोविड रिस्पांस पैकेज और प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिशन इत्यादि से राज्यों को वित्तीय सहायता प्रदान करके राज्यों को कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई के उनके प्रयासों में लगातार सहायता प्रदान की है। केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकारों ने साथ मिलकर 220.2 करोड़ कोविड वैक्सीन के टीके लगाकर कीर्तिमान रचा है, जिसमें पात्रता वाले 90% आबादी को दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं और 22.35 करोड़ आबादी को प्रिकॉशन डोज भी दिया जा चुका है। कोविड-19 के नियमन में चल रहे लगातार प्रयत्नों के अंतर्गत और विश्व में बढ़ रहे कोविड के केसों को देखते हुए केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय वैश्विक स्थिति पर नजर रख रहा है। कोविड-19 के बदलते वेरिएंट से सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के सामने जो चुनौतियां पैदा हो रही है, उस पर सरकार सतत कदम उठा रही है। राज्यों को भी स्थानीय स्तर पर सामुदायिक निगरानी बढ़ाने के लिए और कोविड को नियंत्रित करने के लिए सलाह दी जा रही है। राज्यों को जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग बढ़ाकर सभी पॉजिटिव केसों का जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग करने की सलाह दी गई है, जिससे अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइज करना, रिस्पायरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाने चाहिए। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डों पर विदेश से आने वाले हवाई यात्रियों के 2% कोविड आरटी-पीसीआर रैंडम सैंपलिंग भी की जा रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के समर्थ नेतृत्व में भारत पहले से ही अमल में टेस्ट, ट्रैक, ट्रीट, वैक्सीन, कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर का पालन नीति के साथ कोविड मैनेजमेंट कर रही है। उसे आगे भी हम चालू रखेंगे। इस वैश्विक महामारी के नियंत्रण के लिए हम संकल्पित है और इसके लिए सभी आवश्यक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। मैं सदन के सभी सदस्यों से सरकार के इन प्रयासों में सहयोग चाहता हूं। सभी माननीय सदस्यों लोगों के बीच में जागरूकता लाएं कि वैश्विक महामारी अभी पूरी तरह से खत्म नहीं हुई है और हमें कोविड वैक्सीन का प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाने के उपरांत सभी को सतर्क रहकर कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना चाहिए। हमारे दुश्मन कोविड वायरस समय समय पर अपना स्वरूप बदल रहा है और हमें एक साथ मिलकर दृढ़ संकल्प के साथ उसके खिलाफ अपनी सामूहिक लड़ाई जारी रखने की लगातार जरूरत है। धन्यवाद।
श्री राघव चड्ढा, once please. Sir, we have had responsibility. Sir.
All right, so that's the health minister briefing in the parliament, where he has put out details of how one needs to be very cautious at this point, and all COVID norms must be followed since COVID is not over yet. Remember, the centre is watching the situation very closely, and Prime Minister is all set to review the situation, where at about 3:30 we'll get pictures of the same. Meanwhile, states are also stepping up preparedness, and India is on COVID alert. At the international airports, random screening that is being done of international passengers, and also the very fact that the Indian Medical Association has put out a fresh advisory saying that all COVID norms must be followed. And we are bringing you this latest reaction coming in from Congress leader Salman Khurshid, who has mocked this COVID warning. He said, when you are not following COVID norms, why shall I? So that is yet another strong reaction coming in from a senior leader of the Congress party. Salman Khurshid mocking the government over not following COVID norms, saying that if you don't follow it, why shall I? You would remember how Jairam Ramesh had also linked this warning to the BJP attempting to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra after that letter was written by Mansukh Mandaviya to Rahul Gandhi to suspend the Bharat Jodo Yatra. This is the reaction coming in from Salman Khurshid. Let's listen in.
देखते हैं वो कैसे रोकते हैं। कोविड फैल सकता है, वो जो कर रहे हैं उससे कोविड फैल सकता है। उन्होंने जो कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे नहीं कोविड फैल रहा है, जो उन्होंने कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे कोविड नहीं फैल रहा है। सच्चाई जो है, जो सत्य है और जो वास्तविकता है उसको हमारे साथ वो शेयर कर लें। तो मास्क पहनने लगे आज ही। अरे पीएम मास्क पहनने लगे, आप नहीं पहन रहे हैं। जब आप पीएम की नहीं मानते।
Harsha, I want to come to you because it is very clear that the Congress is bent upon proving that the BJP is only doing this to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra. It is unfortunate because politics must stay away from COVID, especially after what India has gone through with the loss of lives. And this is the time to be together for our netas to stop politicking, especially when it comes to COVID.
Exactly. This is what the BJP Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya is trying to again and again to explain, that this is an alarming situation, and everywhere it could clearly be seen how much surge is there in China, South Korea, Japan and Brazil. The people are dying. There is no beds. There is a lack of oxygen cylinder, concentrators, and the situation is worse. And to stop that situation come in our country, we have to be prepared and follow the COVID appropriate behavior. But Congress leaders, apart from understanding the public health emergency, they are cautioning and mocking at BJP and centre and clearly stating that this is all because they are diverting the issue from Bharat Jodo Yatra. They are seeing that Bharat Jodo Yatra is somehow the advantage is being seen to Congress, and BJP cannot digest it because they are doing it. Salman Khurshid now has stated that you don't follow, then why should we follow? But in the morning we have clearly seen that how in Parliament masks were distributed to reporters, to the parliamentarians, and mask has been mandatory in Parliament from today itself. In fact, in the union ministries, in all the departments, in all the ministries, it has been circulated that masks are mandatory. And not only ministries, the hospitals from RML, LNJP, Gangaram to Medanta to AIMS, Safdarjung, everywhere, the advisory, the circular has been issued by the authorities, by the directors to all the staff, doctors and everyone, that mask is mandatory, social distancing should be done and sanitizers should be there at every place. Everyone is now following COVID alarm because this alarming situation, and Mansukh Mandaviya himself stated there are a few states in which COVID surge is clearly seen, and to stop that to rise to a very high level, we have to take a precaution right now, as India is already prepared. We have oxygen masks, we have concentrator, we have cylinders, we have accurate amount of bed and everything, but still the precaution has to be taken so that the condition couldn't go to such a worst level. But Congress continues to politicize this entire COVID alarming situation. This is very worsening. This is very shocking to see that the Congress leaders are at all not seeing that how the COVID outbreak wasn't at the time of COVID-1 and COVID-2, when India has also seen so many deaths because of COVID. So this is a situation right now, right time, when opposition parties should come forward and help the government to be careful and to spread a message that yes, COVID appropriate behavior should be followed, and they're not doing so. They're only politicizing this entire issue. Back to you.
Absolutely, Harsha, and there is a growing demand that all sort of political gatherings from all parties and any rallies that may be scheduled in the days to come, there must be a blanket ban on it. Because this is not about politics, this is not about political differences, this is about fighting COVID together and staying united. Madhurima sent us this report earlier from the international airport in Delhi, where she gives us a sense of how random sampling has now been increased, and most importantly, how international passengers are being checked. Take a look at this report.
We are reporting from the international arrival at the Indira Gandhi International Airport. Right behind me is the arrival from where we are reporting. And the reason for this reportage is the spike in COVID cases in countries like China, Japan, Brazil and USA, following which the Union Health Ministry has issued an order that random testing and sampling of people arriving from abroad will be done at the IGI airport. Remember, in the last multiple waves that occurred here at in India, here at the IGI airport, multiple checkpoints were made, testing were conducted, and then quarantine facilities were also provided to the travelers that were coming from abroad. Right now, the government is formulating specific guidelines for travelers coming from China, flights coming from China or via China, to make sure that the spread of COVID-19 is curbed and that India does not have to face the kind of situation that it faced in the first and second wave. Though the doctors have said that the Indian population is immunized and is capable of fighting another wave of COVID-19. We report from the IGI airport, and as you can see that it's a heavily crowded airport, which is why to put put guidelines in place, to put restriction in place will become imperative. And where the health ministry has said that random testing and sampling of people coming from abroad, from foreign lands, will be done specifically from the affected countries. The state government will have to implement all this, and once again this airport to remain cautious and prudent will be getting the facility.
बहाने बन रहे हैं, मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं, ये सच्चाई। और देखिए यात्रा में, अब देखिए मैं आपको मजेदार बात बताता हूं। यात्रा में अब हम 100 दिन से ज्यादा चले हैं। इसमें हिंदू, मुसलमान, सिख, ईसाई, हर जात के लोग, महिला, पुरुष, बच्चे, 5 साल के बच्चे, सब चले हैं। इसमें किसी ने किसी से नफरत नहीं की। मैंने अपने आंखों से देखा है, लाखों लोग चले हैं। किसी ने किससे ये नहीं पूछा कि भाई तुम्हारा धर्म क्या है, तुम कहां से आए हो, कौन सी भाषा बोलते हो, किसी ने नहीं पूछा। 24 घंटा इस यात्रा में लोगों ने एक दूसरे का आदर किया, गले लगे, हाथ में हाथ लेकर ये यात्रा चली है। और दूसरी बात देखो, इस यात्रा में धक्का लगता है, कोई गिर जाता है। जैसे कल हमारे पीसीसी प्रेसिडेंट गिर गए, आप इनसे पूछो, 1 सेकंड नहीं लगा, 7-8 लोगों ने इनको उठा दिया 1 सेकंड में। किसी ने ये नहीं पूछा भैया आपका धर्म क्या है, आपकी जात क्या है, तो नाम क्या है, क्या करते हो ना। हिंदुस्तानी हो, उठा देंगे आपको, नीचे नहीं गिरने देंगे। ऐसी सरकार हमें चाहिए जो हर हिंदुस्तानी की रक्षा करे, किसान की रक्षा करे। किसान के सामने मुसीबत आए, एकदम पूरा का पूरा हिंदुस्तान घूम के उसकी रक्षा करे। मजदूर के सामने मुश्किलें आई, एकदम हिंदुस्तान, पूरा का पूरा हिंदुस्तान अपने मजदूरों की मदद करे। ऐसा हिंदुस्तान हम चाहते हैं। ये आरएसएस का, नरेंद्र मोदी का नफरत भरा हुआ हिंदुस्तान नहीं चाहिए हमें। हिंदुस्तान के किसी को नहीं चाहिए। बहुत क्लियरली मैंने बोला, आपकी नफरत के बाजार में हम मोहब्बत की दुकान खोल रहे हैं। और ये मैंने आपको मैसेज दिया है।
All right, so that is Rahul Gandhi calling COVID a mere excuse to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And he is attacking the BJP, where he's saying that the BJP is scared of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is why they are now coming out with COVID as an excuse to suspend the same. We've seen similar reactions coming in from top leaders of the Congress party, Jairam Ramesh, Salman Khurshid, and now Rahul Gandhi, who's saying COVID is a mere excuse. This at a time when the situation is getting serious. 3 cases of the BF7 variant that is responsible for the surge in China have been detected in India. The center is reviewing the situation very, very closely, ramping up preparedness. States are also now creating a roadmap for the same, but the Congress remains defiant. Rahul Gandhi going on to say that nothing will stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra and the BJP is attempting to stop it, which is why they are using COVID as an excuse. Politicking that continues on COVID yet again at a time when the doctors are saying we cannot be complacent anymore. The Indian Medical Association having issued a fresh advisory, but Rahul Gandhi is attacking the BJP. Sardar RP Singh is with me on the phone line. What do you have to say to this latest statement from Rahul Gandhi? He's saying that COVID is just an excuse. The BJP is wanting to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Well, this is exactly the Maulvis of the Tablighi Jamaat said when the advisory was issued to them also. He can say what he has to say, but the fact is it is simply advisory to him in the national interest. And if you want to do away with it, then people are watching him. We have seen what happened at the Corona times when Tablighi Jamaat didn't hit to the advisory of the ministry and then the nation suffered. So let them do what they want to do. But this advisory is only not for them, it's for all states also. And today, the state health ministers of various, or state chief ministers of various states have started taking precaution and have started issuing advisories and then issued protocols as per their states countrywide today. It's not only that it's only for the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Bharat Jodo Yatra being because people from various states come and go back to the states. And the Himachal chief minister has already suffered being part of the Corona, this Yatra. He has suffered from Corona and he's they're locked up because of now Corona.
It is just unfortunate when any party undermines the seriousness of the situation, especially what India went through in the second wave where so many lives were lost. But we see this politicking from the netas, and to politicize COVID is absolutely ridiculous after what we've seen in 2 years.
Issue is we are not prepared to learn. It's the same Rahul Gandhi raised question, who raised question on the efficacy of the medicine. He wanted some other vaccination from foreign country to come and see what's happening to those vaccinations today, what is the outcome of those vaccinations today. So they keep doing this, they keep encouraging the government or the steps taken by the government, but ultimately because of them the nation suffers. And this is not for Rahul Gandhi, this is for all political parties across the board now. That since there is we are seeing what's happening in China and America and then Japan, so we should seek some lesson from them and then try to avoid that to happen or replicate here now. And I said, same happened with Tablighi Jamaat earlier. Now they are behaving exactly like Tablighi Jamaat behaved in their earlier Corona wave.
RP Singh, I want to thank you for speaking to Republic this afternoon. Also with us on the phone line is Manjinder Singh Sirsa. Manjinder Singh Sirsa, fact is that is Rahul Gandhi also defying what the doctors are saying? Because the Indian Medical Association has put out a fresh advisory. They're saying that all sort of gatherings, all sort of crowds must be avoided. People must wear masks. All sort of COVID norms must be followed. And there is a growing demand that there needs to be a blanket ban on any political gathering given the seriousness of the situation. Why do we see a party undermining it?
See, Rahul Gandhi पिछले 100 दिन से ये यात्रा निकाल ही रहे हैं, 90 दिन हो गए, 80 दिन हो गए उनको.
तो उनकी यात्रा में अभी क्या ऐसा इम्पैक्ट हुआ जो बीजेपी उसको रोकना चाहेगी? तो आप तो कर ही रहे थे, आपकी यात्रा में वैसे ही कोई नहीं आता, 4 लोग आते हैं, वो भी देश तोड़ने वाले आते हैं, हमें इससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? बट इम्पोर्टेंस इस बात की है कि देश के अंदर एकदम से कोविड जिस तरह से दोबारा 3rd वेव में आ रहा है, और वेव के चलते मैं अभी दिल्ली में देखा हूँ, गाड़ी में जाते जाते बहुत सारे लोगों ने मास्क डालने शुरू कर दिए, और आपको तो केवल यही कहा गया कि आप डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करें, मास्क पहने, इन चीजों का, कोविड रिस्ट्रिक्शंस का ध्यान दें। तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि इसको सिर्फ इस इश्यू इसलिए बनाना चाहते हैं, उनकी वैसे तो खबर बन नहीं रही, क्योंकि भारत जोड़ो यात्रा में लोग तो जुड़ नहीं रहे, ना तो भारत का लोग। अब उनको लगता है कि खबरों में रहने के लिए कुछ ऐसा बोले जिससे मैसेज आए, हमारी यात्रा रोकी जा रही है जी, देखो घबरा गए बीजेपी। अरे भाई, आप पिछले 80 दिन से घूम ही रहे हैं, अरे छोटे से छोटा आदमी भी नहीं घबराया, क्या घबराना है? और आपने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं सिवाय देश तोड़ने के, या सड़कों के ऊपर जो आप कर रहे हैं इसके तो अलावा आपने कुछ किया नहीं है। तो इसलिए आप पिछले 7 साल से यही काम करते आए हैं, नौटंकी और ड्रामेबाजी। अब आपको एक समझना चाहिए कि लोगों की जान से, लोगों की सेहत से ऊपर कोई चीज नहीं हो सकती। और आप भी थे कि पिछली बार सबसे ज्यादा बोल रहे थे कि लेट क्यों लगाया कोविड की आपने, जो है रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लेट क्यों लगाई, क्यों लेट की? अगर जल्दी की होती और जल्दी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा दी होती तो अब आप कह रहे हैं कि रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगनी नहीं चाहिए। तो पहले आप अपने दोहरे मापदंड देखें, आप चाहते क्या है और कहते क्या है।
Absolutely. And the fact is that Prime Minister Modi is also set to chair a meeting in some time from now. States are creating a roadmap. It is better to be careful than be sorry later, especially after the lessons we've learned in COVID. And we saw how earlier also our indigenous vaccine was put down by the opposition. Now, once again, when it is time to act up, we see the opposition saying that this is just a political excuse. God forbid, if the situation goes out of control, the center will be blamed first for not acting on time.
No, you must remember one thing. Delhi government has also, the Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, also called for a meeting on COVID. So everybody is serious about it. Now tomorrow he'll say कि अरविंद केजरीवाल भी इसीलिए कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने भी मीटिंग इसीलिए बुलाई, मेरे से घबरा गए हैं। Everybody is concerned, every chief minister is concerned, every doctor is concerned, everybody is concerned about this COVID, and Rahul Gandhi should also be concerned about that.
But Rahul Gandhi says that the BJP is scared of his popularity, and which is why it is attempting using COVID as an excuse to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Manjinder Singh Sirsa, I want to thank you for speaking to Republic this afternoon. Also, with me on the broadcast is our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, now we are very closely tracking all the details as we are building up to that big meeting that the Prime Minister will be chairing to review the COVID situation. What more are we learning at this point, especially when we see the states also creating a roadmap to fight COVID?
Well, Suesha, so it's an all stakeholders meeting insofar as the central government is concerned. So obviously the top bureaucrats of the Union Health Ministry and the agencies that go into epidemic control. So for example, the NTAGI, then INSOCG, among others, ICMR, AIMS, all these bodies and their respective heads, Niti Aayog, they are going to be there. Prime Minister is going to be given a lowdown on the status as of this day on how the pandemic stands or how India stands vis-a-vis the pandemic. We have seen a flurry of activity taking place over the last 48 hours and, you know, politics apart, irrespective of whether the Bharat Jodo Yatra or the Jan Akrosh Yatra of the BJP respectively, they stop or not. What is important is that the government has to act and make sure that this whatever number of cases we have found do not take the scale of another wave. Rashid Alvi of the Congress Party, in fact, joins us. Alvi Saab, you are a senior leader, a respected name in your party and the country. Why take a position which smacks of politics? You know, irrespective of the timing, the fact of the matter is that it's only now we come to know that a wave is coming in China. And if a surge or a wave is coming in China, it can spread around the world. India is not immune to it. So what's wrong in taking preventive COVID appropriate behavior and the protocols? And you know, if it applies to the Bharat Jodo Yatra also, why object to that, Alvi Saab?
whether this BJP government, they want to take preventive steps only to stop Bharat Yatra of Rahul Gandhi. This is the only measure which should be taken. Still, airlines are working from China to India, India to China. I have demanded it. Immediately it should be stopped. But you are not doing that. You want to, because BJP is scared of Bharat Yatra, that is the reason they want to stop this Yatra. Whether BJP is taking any steps anywhere during their public meetings, not at all. But they are scared of Rahul Gandhi. That is the reason they want to stop this Bharat Yatra. It is absolutely wrong.
Alvi Sahab, in fact, the government, the Delhi administration, for example, has decided that there is going to be no Christmas party, no New Year's Eve party, no December 31st party at these clubs and pubs that typically happen with where crowds gather. So it's not limited to Bharat Jodo Yatra. I think this is any crowd gathering at any place which can act as a spreader event. You know, for example, your own Congress Party's Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu, he has got COVID a day after, participating in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. So there are concerns which go beyond politics, Alvi Sahab, and there has to be some little more responsible response, for example, from the Congress Party.
You have yourself said that decision has been taken by Delhi administration. Whether in anywhere, Haryana government has taken any measures, has taken any action, has announced anything, any measures? No, not at all. So until and unless you take a decision, we have respect for any rules, any laws. It is not so that we don't bother for our legal system. But Haryana government has not decided anything. Uttar Pradesh government has not decided anything. So how can you say you are not taking any step and you are asking us, you stop your yatra? First of all, you should take certain measures. And I have said so many times since before yesterday, I am requesting from this government, Hawai Jahaz rokiye China se. It happened earlier also when President Trump came to Gujarat. They didn't take any measures, even precautionary measures that time also. That was the reason that COVID had spread it all over the country. And now again, they are doing the same thing. So, Yatra, if there is any...
Sir, let's put aside the Yatra for a while. Let's put aside the Yatra for a while. Let's not touch the Bharat Jodo Yatra. आप उसको continue करें जैसे आप कर रहे हैं. My other question is it not a fact that COVID is spreading in China? The government has decided that there would be no direct flights coming in from China, only those coming in from Singapore and Hong Kong. The government has taken some decisions in the last 48 hours based on whatever reports gathered from around the world before that. Only in the last 72 hours, we have come to know that there is a raging wave happening in China, on the back of which these decisions are being taken. Respective chief ministers are reviewing their situation. There is a meeting taking place in Lucknow. There is a meeting taking place in Chandigarh. Even Punjab chief minister which is of the Aam Aadmi Party is reviewing their situation. That is happening across the country. So it's not limited to Bharat Jodo Yatra, all these decisions that are being taken. Prime Minister himself is going to review the national picture at around 3:30 p.m. In just about half an hour from now. So would you at least admit that there is a situation which we as a nation, as a society collectively have to handle? Bharat Jodo Yatra might be only a small part of it.
You know, it is the responsibility of our Prime Minister. If he has called any meeting and taking any measures, it is all right. But even in Delhi, I have seen from my own eyes, there are so many parties, so many marriages taking place. And the government has not taken so far any action against all of them. If government will announce anything to keep the situation of the country and the world, we will honor for that. It is not so that we are not worried about the situation. Congress party is always has respect for any decision taken by the government, but it is up to the government to take any decision. Only then they should ask us. It is not so that health minister has written a letter, you stop your yatra. How can you do it? Basically, again, I will repeat that this government, this BJP government, the government is scared of this, scared of Rahul Gandhi, because from Kanyakumari to Haryana, millions and millions of people are participating. Even celebrities and important people, they are participating. So that is the reason they are scared of it.
Okay, sir, it seems Rashid Alvi of the Congress party, thank you so much for joining us. You continue to be in denial. It's your own party's leader, Manish Tiwari, who in fact earlier in the day raised concerns about COVID and coming in from China. But it seems that there is a big segment in the Congress party, as can be understood from Rashid Alvi's voice, their senior leader of the party. They continue to be in denial. On the contrary, Congress party thinks that there is an element of politicization and that all the flurry of activity that has happened over the last 48 hours with the instructions coming in from the Union Health Ministry are aimed at stopping Rahul Gandhi, because the BJP perhaps is worried about the impact that it might have once Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra enters Delhi. On that note, I hand it over back to the studios to Deepti in Delhi.
Yes, Abhishek, thank you. I think it's important to hear what the Congress has said, and this is the exact problem. In a situation when you're dealing with the national health of the country, you have the Congress party that still wants to be defined. It is again and again linking everything that has happened so far to the fact that the BJP is running scared of the yatra. They're running scared of the kind of response, but absolutely silent on the protocols that the health ministry says need to be followed. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has just spoken a little while earlier, and he insists that this is an attempt to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He says that at no cost the yatra is going to be halted. In the meantime, remember, we are just minutes away from the Prime Minister's big review meet that's scheduled to take place at 3:30. Earlier in the day, you also heard the Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia speaking on the floor of the House, reiterating the concern that prevention, remember, is always and always better than cure. In fact, if you look at these images on the left of your screen, today, interestingly, you have all our MPs masked up, unlike yesterday. So you do see the government in a proactive mode. But what has the Congress party said and done so far? This is Rahul Gandhi responding to what the Union Health Minister said earlier.
अब इन्होंने नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी कि कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। अब भैया मतलब अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं। मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं। ये सच्चाई। और देखिए यात्रा में, अब देखिए मैं आपको मजेदार बात बताता हूं। यात्रा में अब हम 100 दिन से ज्यादा चले हैं। इसमें हिंदू, मुसलमान, सिख, ईसाई, हर जात के लोग, महिला, पुरुष, बच्चे, 5 साल के बच्चे, सब चले हैं। इसमें किसी ने किसी से नफरत नहीं की। मैंने अपने आंखों से देखा है, लाखों लोग चले हैं। किसी ने किससे ये नहीं पूछा कि भाई तुम्हारा धर्म क्या है, तुम कहां से आए हो, कौन सी भाषा बोलते हो, किसी ने नहीं पूछा। 24 घंटा इस यात्रा में लोगों ने एक दूसरे का आदर किया, गले लगे, हाथ में हाथ लेकर ये यात्रा चली है। और दूसरी बात देखो, इस यात्रा में धक्का लगता है, कोई गिर जाता है, जैसे कल हमारे पीसीसी प्रेसिडेंट गिर गए। आप इनसे पूछो, 1 सेकंड नहीं लगा, 7-8 लोगों ने इनको उठा दिया 1 सेकंड में। किसी ने ये नहीं पूछा भैया आपका धर्म क्या है, आपकी जात क्या है, तो नाम क्या है, क्या करते हो, ना, हिंदुस्तानी हो उठा देंगे आपको, नीचे नहीं गिरने देंगे। ऐसी सरकार हमें चाहिए।
बीजेपी ने राजस्थान में अपनी चल रही जन आक्रोश यात्रा को रोक दिया है। इस बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ बीजेपी सांसद अरुण सिंह है। सर, क्या कारण रहा कि बीजेपी को अपनी यात्रा रोकनी पड़ी?
देखिए, कोविड की जो गाइडलाइन है, उस गाइडलाइन के अंतर्गत यह दिखाया गया है कि विश्व में कोविड के केसेस बढ़ रहे हैं, इसलिए भारत में भी कोविड के नियमों का पालन करना चाहिए। राजस्थान में जनता के मन में गहलोत सरकार के खिलाफ भयंकर आक्रोश है और इसीलिए हम लोगों ने 200 विधानसभाओं में जन आक्रोश यात्रा निकाली। जिन विधानसभाओं में जन आक्रोश यात्रा पूरी नहीं हुई थी, उन यात्राओं को हमने बंद किया। जनता की अपील थी, लोग कहते थे कि यात्रा और लंबी चलनी चाहिए, लेकिन हमने कहा नहीं भाई, कोविड का नियम आ गया है, इसके लोगों की सुरक्षा हमारे लिए सर्वोपरि है, इसलिए इसको बंद करना चाहिए, बंद किया।
आप चाहेंगे कि राहुल गांधी भी अगर यात्रा नहीं रोक रहे तो कम से कम कोविड प्रोटोकॉल्स को तो फॉलो करें?
देखिए, यह राहुल गांधी जी को तय करना है। अगर कोविड के प्रोटोकॉल को पालन नहीं हो पा रहा है तो अवश्य रूप से यात्रा को उनको रोकनी चाहिए, अन्यथा कोविड का प्रोटोकॉल पालन करें। लोगों की सुरक्षा, लोगों की जान बचाना ही सर्वोपरि होता है किसी भी राजनीतिक दल के लिए।
रिपब्लिक भारत से बात करने के धन्यवाद।
So what's happened, I think we should tell our viewers this. The BJP, remember, was taking the Jan Akrosh Yatra in the state of Rajasthan. Now what's happened is that you've just heard the BJP, they're reiterating that they have gone ahead to suspend that Yatra in the wake of the threat of the new COVID variant. On the other side, they say, why is the Congress today not leading by example? And even if you have to carry forward your Yatra, what is the harm in wearing mask and, following COVID protocols? This is something that the Congress party has been asked ever since yesterday. But today what Rahul Gandhi has done, ladies and gentlemen, is that he's made this all out political. He's actually saying that wo dar gaye hain, BJP dar gayi hai. This is the only reason, he says, why they want to halt our yatra. Clearly, politics that is being played on that entire issue right now, that is extremely important to look at. It's close to about 10 minutes past 3. Remember, 3:30. That means in the next 20 minutes, we are looking at the Prime Minister, who is holding that review meeting, where we are expecting most states also to be equal participants, considering that this is an ever-evolving situation. And like I said, on the left of your screen are images that have come in earlier from the parliament. If you look at either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, you will see our member of parliaments and everyone else today masked up, essentially what is a part of the COVID protocol. Even yesterday, we heard the Health Minister, Mansukh Mandavia, reiterating that all that needs to be done right now is that people need to start adhering to COVID protocols. He also said that in the next few days, we will be putting out specific advisories that should be followed. And Republic, in fact, has picked this up through sources that there could be, more details on what that advisory could entail, whether it's about the travel sector, the flight sector, the markets, the upcoming weekend where you're looking at Christmas and the New Year festivities. Do they continue? Or we will be looking at the government talking of limiting down these celebrations. But what we can tell you right now is that in the next few minutes, where the Prime Minister will be chairing that review meet, at the end of which there is expected to be greater clarity on what could be that advisory that is agreed on largely by different states, and the center is going to be overviewing what needs to be done. But earlier in the day, we've also heard from the Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia, the man right now in the center of this entire action. He, remember, has been monitoring the entire situation along with members of the NTAGI and also the Niti Aayog. This is what he said in the parliament a little while earlier.
वैश्विक कोविड महामारी को देखते हुए मैं सदन में एक स्टेटमेंट देना चाहता हूं। कोविड महामारी आज तक दुनिया के स्वास्थ्य और आजीविका को प्रभावित कर रही है। पिछले 3 वर्षों में वायरस की निरंतर बदलती प्रकृति ने वैश्विक स्वास्थ्य के लिए एक खतरा।
Different states do make trips abroad to promote investment and other activities through their states. They do sign MOUs, and these are done directly by the states. Our embassies and consulates extend whatever necessary assistance is required. I don't have anything particular on this MOU or this visit. Yes, our consulate, of course, extended assistance to the delegation, but the MOUs for that, you will have to ask the state government. They would have a better fix on that. I'm not even sure the query regarding, you said due diligence. I'm not sure, it's not our MOU, so I would refer you to the state government. I think they may already made some statements, and I would refer you to that. Yeah, second round of questions. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, Afghanistan पे आप मैंने जो अभी तालिबान इशू पे अच्छा ओके देखिए इसमें जो हमने रिपोर्ट देखी है उनको हम कंसर्न के साथ नोट करते हैं। भारत ने अफगानिस्तान में महिला शिक्षा के मुद्दे को लगातार समर्थन किया है। हमने एक समावेशी और प्रतिनिधि सरकार का स्थापना को महत्व पर जोर दिया है जो सभी अफगानों को अधिकारों का सम्मान करती है और उच्च शिक्षा तक एक्सेस सहित अफगान समाज के सभी पहलुओं में भाग लेने के लिए महिलाओं और लड़कियों के समान अधिकारों का सुनिश्चित करती है। इसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जो संयुक्त राष्ट्र सुरक्षा परिषद के प्रस्ताव 2593 का भी याद करूंगा जो महिलाओं और मानव अधिकारों के महत्व की पुष्टि करता है और महिलाओं की पूर्ण समान और सार्थक भागीदारी का भी आह्वान करता है। Somebody had a related, no, okay, go ahead. No, before that, please. Srinja?
The Chinese city of Wuhan, where COVID-19 was first detected 3 years ago, is again experiencing a surge in the virus. Just weeks after China announced a major easing of its rigid zero COVID restrictions, people are falling ill from the virus in the city. Queues of people have been lining up at fever clinics, whilst lines of ambulances have been seen dropping off the sick at hospitals. Reports suggest most infections are not being reported in Wuhan, and with the way China is calculating its death toll, officially in almost 7 months, there have been fewer than 20 deaths from COVID-19. Experts predict hundreds of thousands of deaths from the virus could occur by the spring. Agency report for Republic TV.
We're heading to a break right now. When we come back amidst the wake of the new COVID variant, the Prime Minister is all set to chair the crucial COVID review meet that happens at 3:30 this afternoon. Also, the TMC leader mocks traditional Meghalaya attire. The Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma hits back.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
An unshakable belief, a 360-degree holistic model of development, and a strong team of 300 people is transforming millions of lives in rural Maharashtra.
build hope, we build aspiration, we allow them, we give them the tools with which to dream.
Catch the second episode of Swadesh Foundation's Swa Se Bane Desh this weekend only on Republic TV.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
Yeah, Ajay, look at your dad. Will we be the same at his age?
Absolutely yes, if we plan our future like him.
How?
My father had invested in LIC's Jeevan Akshay, which gives immediate and guaranteed annuity at regular intervals, that too for life.
Wow. But do we have to wait until his age?
Absolutely not. We recently invested in LIC's new Jeevan Shanti, which gives deferred annuity, which means regular income after some years.
I see.
LIC's annuity plans give 10 annuity options and flexibility in receiving regular income. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
छक्का नहीं, टूटा. आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए MYK लेटिक्री टाइल एडेसिव. फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल न टूटेगा न छूटेगा.
2022 में सुबु ने कंसिस्टेंटली अंडर परफॉर्म किया और 3 बार डिमोट होकर भी दिखाया. पर सुबु तो उड़ रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ. तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी.
You know it's only a drill, and yet you train like it is the real thing. Because one day, at a second's notice, it will be. One day, you'll come together as an invincible team. And every second you save will be a life saved. The Indian Air Force is looking for an exceptional team. A team that is truly a cut above.
Join the Indian Air Force to be a cut above.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Following a sudden spurt in the COVID-19 cases in the US, Japan, Korea, Brazil and China, now the Prime Minister is chairing a high-level meeting with Chief Ministers of States and Lieutenant Governors of Union Territories at 3:30. This is coming a day after the Union Health Minister chaired a high-level meeting to review the situation in the country. The Punjab Chief Minister has also called for a review meeting with the State Health Minister and health officials. The meeting earlier has taken place at the Chief Minister's office. Amidst the growing concerns of the fresh COVID wave swinging into action, the Punjab government has organized special beds with oxygens, and the oxygen plants have also been set up in the state. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin held a meeting with the State Health Minister, Health Secretary and health officials at the Secretariat regarding various protocols and precautionary measures to be taken. In Madhya Pradesh, instructions have been given to all government officials of the state to follow guidelines of the Government of India, and they've also been directed to ensure that there is genome sequencing done of samples found positive.
यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं, सब बहाने हैं. हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से ये लोग डर गए हैं.
That is Rahul Gandhi, who remains defiant. He mocks the COVID threat. He calls this a quote-unquote excuse to stop the yatra.
your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call DEN toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
Guys, just 1 second. Choosing a car for my mom.
What? Online car shopping? Wow, that's so cool, yeah.
Shahrukh ने बताया.
Wait up. Booking a car service.
From here.
क्यों? तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं. There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
जैन 2022 से अब तक रोहन 6 बार डंप हुआ है. बट रोहन वो तो लहरा रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ. तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
आज की पेशकश.
अच्छी है, पर ये चाय रोज मिलेगी?
रिटायर होने वाला हूँ, रोज नहीं, लाइफ लॉन्ग मिलेगी. ये मेरी गारंटी है.
कुछ चीजों का साथ हमेशा होना चाहिए, जैसे HDFC लाइफ एन्युटी प्लान्स जो दे लाइफ लॉन्ग मंथली गारंटीड इनकम. HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो.
देखें कौन नया खिलाड़ी आया है.
समझा देते हैं.
प्यार से समझाएंगे, धीरे धीरे से.
वो भी अपनी सुबह में.
ये तो अपनी जुबान है.
जुबान एक हो तो दिल भी एक होने चाहिए. विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
उनको ये समझ में नहीं आया है कि हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं, हम रुकने वाले नहीं हैं. 2 बातें वो समझ जाए, ना डरेंगे ना रुकेंगे. ये 2 बातें समझ जाए. राहुल गांधी जी ने इसको पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश में आने से पहले पूरे भारतवर्ष में इस बात को कहा है और उस बात पर हम अडिग हैं. हम लोग सब उस पर मजबूती के साथ खड़े हैं और अगर वो देखना चाहते हैं कि हमें कितना हम में हिम्मत है और कितना हमें विश्वास है तो हमको देख लें. वो
रोकने के लिए भी कहा है क्योंकि कोविड को बता रहे हैं कि
अरे वो रोकेंगे तब हम देखेंगे. देखते हैं वो कैसे रोकेंगे.
इससे कोविड फैल सकता है.
वो जो कर रहे हैं उससे कोविड फैल सकता है. उन्होंने जो कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे नहीं कोविड फैल रहा है. जो उन्होंने कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे कोविड नहीं फैल रहा है. सच्चाई जो है, जो सत्य है और जो वास्तविकता है उसको हमारे साथ वो शेयर कर लें.
तो मास्क पहनने लगे आज ही.
अरे पीएम मास्क पहनने लगे, आप नहीं पहन रहे हैं जब आप पीएम की नहीं मानते.
We're heading into a break right now, but in the next 5 minutes, remember the Prime Minister is chairing an all-important review meeting of the upcoming COVID threat. Is there going to be an advisory that will be put out? Republic continues to keep its top focus. Don't go anywhere. We are back with all the details.
Tonight, a murder will be committed. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game.
This is truly delightful.
Holy
There has been a murder. For one person, this is not a game. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again.
You must be really great at clues.
I'm very bad at dumb things.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
2022 के Q1, Q2 और Q3 में सुबु ने कंसिस्टेंटली अंडर परफॉर्म किया और 3 बार डिमोट होकर भी दिखाया. सीधा कैबिन से क्यूबिकल तक। पर सुबह तो उड़ रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharti Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो। एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
Amidst global alarm over COVID cases, Prime Minister to chair key review meet on preparedness. From national capital to Karnataka, states swing into action mode as India is on COVID alert.
तो रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से ये लोग डर गए हैं।
But Rahul remains defiant, mocks COVID threat, calls it an excuse to stop Yatra.
See how vibrant we are, how colorful we are, how we have contributed in building up of this great nation.
TMC leader mocks traditional Meghalaya attire, Assam Chief Minister gives it back. Trouble mounts for Vadras in Bikaner land deal case as High Court dismisses plea. We are close to 3:30 p.m. and in any minute now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be chairing that high-level meet to review the COVID situation in the country. Remember, at this point, when the meeting is a day after Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia reviewed the situation and has asked people to follow all COVID-appropriate behavior, including wearing masks in crowded places and getting vaccinated. Official sources have also said that random sample testing is being done at the international airports. Passengers coming from outside, especially from China, are being screened very, very carefully. In the meanwhile, states are also now getting ready with a roadmap to how to fight COVID. This at a time when we see politicking over the COVID alert in the country. 4 cases of the Omicron subvariant BF7 that have been detected in India. This certainly is a cause of concern given this very variant is responsible for the surge in China. Want to bring in our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor on the broadcast. Abhishek, we are waiting any minute now, Prime Minister will be chairing that high-level meet. Who all will be a part of it? Give us details of what's expected. All right, we'll have Abhishek join us in just a few seconds from now as he's picking up details on what is expected in this meeting and who all will be a part of it. In the meanwhile, the politics that is playing over it, where the Congress once again is defying the COVID alert, and Rahul Gandhi, who calls it a mere excuse by the BJP to stop the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Listen into that statement.
अब इन्होंने नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी कि कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। अब भैया मतलब अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं। मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं। ये सच्चाई। और देखिए यात्रा में, देखिए मैं आपको मजेदार बात बताता हूं। यात्रा में अब हम 100 दिन से ज्यादा चले हैं। इसमें हिंदू, मुसलमान, सिख, ईसाई, हर जात के लोग, महिला, पुरुष, बच्चे, 5 साल के बच्चे, सब चले हैं। इसमें किसी ने किसी से नफरत नहीं की। मैंने अपने आंखों से देखा है, लाखों लोग चले हैं। किसी ने किससे ये नहीं पूछा कि भाई तुम्हारा धर्म क्या है, तुम कहां से आए हो, कौन सी भाषा बोलते हो, किसी ने नहीं पूछा। 24 घंटा इस यात्रा में लोगों ने एक दूसरे का आदर किया, गले लगे, हाथ में हाथ लेकर ये यात्रा चली है। और दूसरी बात देखो, इस यात्रा में धक्का लगता है, कोई गिर जाता है। जैसे कल हमारे पीसीसी प्रेसिडेंट गिर गए। आप इनसे पूछो, 1 सेकंड नहीं लगा, 7-8 लोगों ने इनको उठा दिया 1 सेकंड में। किसी ने ये नहीं पूछा भैया आपका धर्म क्या है, आपकी जात क्या है, तो नाम क्या है, क्या करते हो ना। हिंदुस्तानी हो, उठा देंगे आपको, नीचे नहीं गिरने देंगे। ऐसी सरकार हमें चाहिए।
Abhishek with us on the broadcast, and also our colleague Harsha on the ground. But Abhishek, I want to come to you. Unfortunate of the kind of politics that is playing out, especially when it comes to COVID. But keeping that aside, focusing on this meeting that the Prime Minister will be chairing, it is set to begin any minute now. Give us details of who all will be a part of it, what's expected, what's the roadmap that will be drawn.
Well, first off, it's really unfortunate and sad that the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi are taking the kind of position they are, Suresha. Remember, real people have died in the first, second and third waves of COVID. Real people are dying even now, if not in India, outside. But there is clear potential that the virus can spread outside of China. In fact, remember the advisory that came in from the Union Health Ministry clearly mentioned that it's not just about China, it's about Korea, it's about Japan, it's about America and some parts of Europe. And if these many regions can get affected, India cannot remain immune. The only thing we can do is up our preparedness and make sure that we are fully prepared to take on the next wave whenever it comes. You cannot avoid it, but you can be well informed, well prepared, and make sure that there is least possible damage. And for that, obviously, all arms of the government have to come together. Having said that, so far as Prime Minister's meeting is concerned, remember, there has been a build-up over the last 48 hours with a meeting taking place first in the health ministry in Delhi, and then advisory being issued to the states. We have seen today, in fact, most of the states carrying out their own set of meetings from Tamil Nadu to Punjab and Maharashtra to Chandigarh and Haryana and of course Uttar Pradesh. And what we are getting to here is Prime Minister. In fact, the meeting has in fact started, and in a while from now we are going to get pictures from inside the meeting. This is happening at LKM, which is that's where the meeting is happening, and Prime Minister is going to chair it. Apart from him, there would be the Union Health Minister, the entire top administration so far as the Health Ministry is concerned, and all those associated agencies which have a role in pandemic management. So from Niti Aayog to AIMS to the NTAGI and to INSACOG, the ICMR, all these bodies that have some or the other role insofar as profiling of the COVID virus and its variants is concerned, the pandemic management, the COVID appropriate behavior, the protocol. In fact, representatives from the Health Ministry also, remember, the Epidemics Act comes insofar as administering it is concerned under the Union Home Ministry. So there are going to be representatives from that also, and good that we are breaking this. The meeting has started, and we are going to get visuals in just a bit from now. And all those people I mentioned are in the meeting. In fact, I am being told, Suesha, that once this review is done and after this meeting, there will be instructions, a follow-up set of instructions going to the states to make sure that India as a society, as a nation, is on top of the curve, ahead of the curve, in case the pandemic spreads. Remember, it's not a very distant, in fact, the kind of COVID surge that's happening in China, the variant which is causing it, BF7, which is an Omicron variant, has already been reported in India. So it's not that it's not there already in our midst. It's just a matter of numbers. And the good thing is we have really vaccinated our population well. And the only additional things that perhaps need to be done are making sure that whosoever remains unvaxxed are brought into that domain, as also, of course, restarting the COVID appropriate behavior. So, for example, we are heading into this Yuletide season of festivities from Christmas to New Year. Whenever those parties happen at crowded places, can we really bring back the COVID appropriate behavior in terms of social distancing and masking, and not just limited to the parties, but whenever you are traveling, remember there is an economic cost and we cannot afford that again. So obviously there would not be any lockdowns. That's what we are getting to here, at least at this stage. So there is no panic. The government has a sense of control. It's just that we need to be fully prepared and cautious of the fact that if these preventive and precautionary measures are not taken, things can go out of control. So, and that is the reason why these meetings are taking place. It's not about politics. That's a small, unfortunate part of it, given the kind of response we have seen from the opposition, particularly from the Congress party, because their Bharat Jodo Yatra gets affected. Having said that, meeting has started at 7 LKM, headed by the Prime Minister, and as I mentioned, other stakeholders who have some or the other role in COVID pandemic management. Part of the meeting, Prime Minister is going to be given a lowdown on the situation as it stands today, as we speak, of where all the cases are, how we are doing, what all measures have been put in place in the last 48 hours. For example, random checks have started on international arrivals at airports across the country, whether this is going to be broad-based further, and then the preparation so far as hospitals are concerned. Remember, post the second wave of the pandemic, most of the temporary infrastructure that was created for treating COVID patients has been dismantled. So whether there is a need to bring that back, or if at any stage it has to be brought back, what are the provisions that are in place? So I think all those issues on the table. It's going to be a very broad meeting in terms of agenda, about the next wave of COVID and how prepared we are, where we stand, and how we go forward from here. It's not about politics, it's about taking everyone on board. And remember, as I mentioned, as the Prime Minister takes this meeting, there have already been review meetings at the state level from down south to up north in Punjab and Uttar Pradesh and Haryana included. So it's not that the states are not concerned. They are also having their meeting. The meeting that has happened in Maharashtra. And hopefully we are going to get pictures of the Prime Minister's meeting in a while from now, Suesha.
Oh, yes. And we are standing by for that, Abhishek. I want to thank you at the moment for getting us all these details. We'll come back to you in just a short while from now. For the moment, some breaking news that is just coming in. This is after Rajasthan High Court order on the Bikaner land case. Robert Vadra lost his cool on journalists who questioned him on the court development, and he threatened reporters of a police case against them. We'll first play out that entire sequence.
We can see Robert Vadra was just one response from
sir,
police case
you think, sir, what
police case करो इनके ऊपर.
Sir, just one response from you, sir. What will be your next course of action, sir?
You can see Robert Vadra without the case that taking leaders.
Sir, just one response I'm asking, sir.
Right.
Sir, just one response from you, sir. Sir,
police case
you
करो
think,
इनके
sir,
ऊपर.
what?
Police case करो इनके ऊपर.
Sir, just one response from you, sir. What will be your next course of action, sir?
You can see Robert Vadra without the case that taking leaders.
Sir, just one response I'm asking, sir.
Right.
And Rhythm Anand Bharadwaj now with me on the phone line. Rhythm, this is absolutely bizarre. So Robert Vadra doesn't want to be questioned at all. I mean, a police case against journalists who are doing their jobs. What was he expecting? What was this about?
Well, let's just tell you that I find it extremely shocking that this kind of behavior has been seen here. I think he's extremely angry because I saw the media and they said sir to him, and yet in this anger, I'm shocked that someone like, someone who's used to court cases or whatever, Robert Vadra, comes out so angry and he's almost aggressive when he takes his phone and he's trying to take simple journalists asking questions in the most polite manner, standing in the corner. He says to his person, there should be a police case, but a police case for what? For you losing your cool after the media is reporting on a Rajasthan High Court order, after speaking to your lawyers, after trying to get in both the sides, and we are standing there to get his side of the story, and he has the audacious preposterousness to lose his cool in this manner, almost as if he's about to attack. He comes out so angry to see the vision, and he goes towards the journalists. And he's taking pictures of simple journalists who are standing there. The way he's moving his camera clearly shows his aggression, and he says, file a police case against them. Well, the law of the country, Mr. Vadra, does not run on your fingertips, that you will tell us to file a case against the journalists because they are doing their job of asking you for a reaction, which is something that we have a right to do under Article 19(1)(a). And there is no reasonable restriction on us asking a question on a court case in which you are being questioned. Your company is there in it. In fact, I personally have been to the Rajasthan High Court in Jaipur. I've seen the ED questioning in this case of Robert Vadra and his mother. I've also seen the money laundering case that has been put, and it's a very serious charge in the Bikaner land deal. They were quizzed in 2019. Today they're getting some protection from arrest for 2 weeks. It's a very big matter. It is the right of the media to be going forward and putting focus on the Bikaner land deals and to really understand what happened. There was a purchase of 275 bighas of land. It is alleged he made 615% profit, allegedly, I'm saying, by selling the land for several crores after purchasing it from 72 lakhs or something. The ED is looking into the matter. His counsel, senior advocate KTS Tulsi, appeared before the Rajasthan High Court. What is that? Even before I go on, to what was happening in the courtroom, and whatever happened, this outlandish, abrasive, and defensive behavior of Robert Vadra comes completely shocking. He's lost his cool, the way he's moving his mobile around, simple journalists asking questions, and him not being able to answer. And then he goes and sits in his car, and I find the most shocking thing that he says is, we must go ahead and file a police case against the media. There are two things that are very clear in the sequence that we are playing out. One, the anger and how Robert Vadra loses his cool yet again. And secondly, not only does he lose his cool, but this time he warns and threatens the media that I'm going to file a police case with you. So very shocking when the media is trying to report his side of the story, when Robert Vadra does. Yes. So, Suresha, back to you.
So probably only on positive stories that Mr. Vadra wants to be questioned, but not on the court cases that he is in the middle of. And clearly, Rhythm, in this entire sequence, it is visible how no reporter even rushed towards him or nothing unruly happened. They were just waiting for a sound bite. They addressed him in the most respectful manner. However, Robert Vadra came charging at them and said that a police case must be filed against them. We'll leave it at that. We have to slip into a very short commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. And yes, from Delhi to Karnataka, states have swung into action mode. India is on COVID alert.
Come, you see how vibrant we are, how colorful we are, how we have contributed in building up of this great nation.
TMC leader mocks traditional Meghalaya attire. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma gives it back.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
टाइम पे खा लेना और कल सुबह अपॉइंटमेंट है, भूलना मत।
अरे 2 दिन के लिए तो जा रहे हो।
हाँ, लेकिन ख्याल तो पूरी जिंदगी रखूंगा ना।
HDFC लाइफ एन्युटी प्लान्स के जॉइंट लाइफ फीचर के साथ रखिए अपनों का ख्याल हमेशा। HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो।
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
Ladies and gentlemen, you expected the puzzle, but for a long person, this is not a game.
Explain it to us, detective.
Everyone is in danger.
All right, when's the murder mystery start?
भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था में $1 ट्रिलियन का योगदान और देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में ग्रोथ इंजन के रूप में अपनी भूमिका का निर्वहन करने के हेतु प्रदेश सरकार यूपी ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 2023 का आयोजन कर रही है। आर्थिक विकास में तेज रफ्तार से आगे बढ़ रहे उत्तर प्रदेश में इस समिट के माध्यम से योगी सरकार ने 10 लाख करोड़ रुपए के निवेश का लक्ष्य रखा है।
And we're cutting across to breaking news. Coming in, NCP leader who abused speaker in the Maharashtra Assembly has now been suspended until the end of the winter session. This is exactly what happened with NCP senior leader Jayant Patil, who used the word shameless against Speaker Rahul Narvekar, and he has now been suspended until the end of the winter session for using derogatory remarks. Alicia is joining us from the Mumbai newsroom to give us details of what exactly had happened. Over to you, Alicia.
Well, yes, Suesha, it was a Maharashtra Assembly where the session has been underway, and we can see that NCP senior leader and a former Maharashtra Cabinet Minister Jayant Patil, who used a derogatory remark against Maharashtra Assembly Speaker, that is Rahul Narvekar, after which Rahul Narvekar has clearly suspended Jayant Patil till the end of this winter session. So this comes after when Jayant Patil has made a derogatory remark that he has called Jayant Patil a shameless, after which there is an action that has been taken, and of course the Maharashtra government has also intervened into this, clearly asking to take action against Jayant Patil, and after which where we see that Rahul Narvekar, who has already suspended Jayant Patil till end of this winter session. So this means where Jayant Patil could not be now able to attend the session which is underway till 29th of December. More of the point we can see there is also ruckus that has happened right after the derogatory remark that has been made against Jayant Patil, and now we see that Rahul Narvekar during the session which was underway, while he has clearly suspended Jayant Patil for a derogatory remark that has been made against the Vidhan Sabha Speaker, that is Rahul Narvekar, and now the Jayant Patil has been suspended till the end of this session. So here we have been seeing Rahul Narvekar, who has already taken an action over the derogatory remark that has been made by Jayant Patil. It was a session that has been underway, and we can even see there was a major ruckus that has been underway in the winter sessions that has been happening, comments in Nagpur, and even the opposition party was asking for a resignation of the chief minister over the land issue. But after which, whether Rahul Narvekar was continuously asking to go with the issue that has been already raised in the assembly. But moreover, there is a derogatory remark that is Jayant Patil, a senior NCP leader and a former cabinet minister, has called shameless to Rahul Narvekar, after which he is being suspended till the end of this winter session. Continuously rolling on this big story and the other stories that has been lined up for you. We'll be back after a short break.
Mr. Blanc, you're the world's greatest detective, right?
In your words, there has been a murder. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
Wow!
Well, I'm out of here.
Yeah, me too.
Lock the doors. Stay in your rooms. Everyone is in danger.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा करके रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए, और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
जैन 2022 से अब तक रोहन 6 बार डंप हुआ है। हर गर्लफ्रेंड को एक्स के नाम से जो बुलाया, बट रोहन वो तो लहरा रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
Whenever I had ice cream or cold water, I would experience a sharp shooting sensation. So I just kept ignoring it. Even my hot chai was giving me the same amount of discomfort. My dentist recommended Sensodyne. So now I can be completely carefree and sip my hot cup of tea. It really works.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharti Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
देखें कौन नया खिलाड़ी आया है। समझा देते हैं। प्यार से समझाएंगे, धीरे धीरे से। वो भी अपनी सुबह में। ये तो अपनी जुबान है।
जुबान एक हो तो दिल भी एक होने चाहिए। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Hey boss.
Rahul, how come you're here?
Boss, शाहरुख ने बताया। Wait up. Booking a car service.
Booking a service from here.
क्यों? तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं। There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया। It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Viewers, a very good afternoon. You're watching India's #1 news channel, Republic TV. I am Shivangi Shukla. The top story today will be what's happening right now. As we speak, the Prime Minister is holding a review meeting on COVID-19. The entire India is on high alert. States have been advised to take precautionary measures as well. That's the top story. But first, the top headlines we are tracking right now. Amidst global alarm over COVID cases, Prime Minister to chair key review meeting which is happening on preparedness. From national capital to Karnataka, states swing into action mode as India is on COVID alert.
यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से ये लोग डर गए हैं।
But Rahul remains defiant, mocks a COVID threat, calls it an excuse to stop the yatra.
Vibrant we are, how colorful we are, how we have contributed in building up of this great nation.
TNC leader mocks traditional Meghalaya attire as Sam CM gives it back. And trouble mounts for Vadras in Bikaner land deals case as High Court dismisses plea. All right, viewers, so the top story right now is what's happening. It looks like that the COVID-19 scare could be back if India does not take the right steps. At this point of time, viewers, we can tell you that in China, many cases have been seen. China, which proudly had said at one point that we have contained our COVID-19 cases, right now is struggling struggling to contain its cases. And right now, India wants to be prepared to make sure that the cases are contained. In fact, the Prime Minister himself is holding a review meeting as we speak right now. The Health Minister has made it very clear that India has to be prepared, and the threat of COVID is not over yet. In fact, right now we are being joined by Harsha. Harsha is joining us very, very soon. Harsha, a very, very good evening to you right now. And Harsha is going to get us the top updates. Harsha, we know the Health Minister has made it very clear the threat of COVID is not over yet. And right now, all the states are working together in their respective departments, especially the health departments of every state. They are making sure that they're prepared to make sure they contain the threat of COVID-19. Tell us the latest updates coming in.
Exactly, Shivangi, we are getting to know that it's been more than half an hour since the meeting with PM Narendra Modi has started, and right now we show you the visuals of the PM residence at 7 LKM as the meeting has already started. PM is chairing this meeting. All the experts who are related to public health emergency are in this meeting, and the Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia will certainly tell about the preparedness, what India is up to, because at the time of pandemic in COVID 1, 2, 3, we have certainly seen the lack of oxygen concentrators, cylinders and beds. For this time, India wants to be prepared, and as we heard in the Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, what Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has clearly stated that we are prepared and everything is being ramped up. The state's advisory has been issued, and since morning we have seen, be it Chandigarh, be it Punjab, be it UP, and in fact Haryana, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, in fact Delhi also, everywhere the meeting regarding this COVID situation was happening. And if you talk about Yogi Adityanath took the meeting, they took the meeting. Everyone is ramping up the RT-PCR test and the samples to be sent for the genome sequencing, because right now ramping for the genome sequencing is one thing which India is focusing on, because till now 4 cases of BF.7 has been found in India. This is the very variant which is responsible for the upsurge in the countries like China, Japan, South Korea and US. So in this meeting we are expecting that PM is going to take a brief from all the experts and the health minister that what is the present situation in the country and what advisory has been issued to the states, and how deadly is this strain BF.7, which is the sub-variant of BA.5 Omicron. Back to you, Shivangi.
Right, Harsha, stay on with us. Our colleague Harsha is going ahead and she is tracking every development as the Prime Minister is holding that review meeting. But just a short while back, the Union Health Minister had addressed both houses of the Parliament, and he made it very clear that the threat of COVID is not over. India needs to be prepared, and genome sequencing has to be started by all the states. In fact, in Delhi itself, international passengers are being checked randomly when they're coming in from the arrival gate of the international airport. In fact, let's go ahead and play out this soundbite of the Union Health Minister.
वैश्विक कोविड महामारी को देखते हुए मैं सदन में एक स्टेटमेंट देना चाहता हूं। कोविड महामारी आज तक दुनिया के स्वास्थ्य और आजीविका को प्रभावित कर रही है। पिछले 3 वर्षों में वायरस की निरंतर बदलती प्रकृति ने वैश्विक स्वास्थ्य के लिए एक खतरा पैदा कर दिया है, जिसने लगभग हर देश को प्रभावित किया है। पिछले कई दिनों से पूरी दुनिया में कोविड-19 के केसों में वृद्धि दर्ज की जा रही है, लेकिन पिछले 1 साल में भारत में कोविड केसों में सतत कमी दर्ज होती रही है। वर्तमान में प्रत्येक दिन औसतन 153 कोविड के नए केस पूरे देश में दर्ज हो रहे हैं, जिसके सामने पूरी दुनिया में प्रतिदिन 5,87 लाख कोविड के नए केस दर्ज हो रहे हैं। जापान, साउथ कोरिया, यूएसए, फ्रांस, ग्रीस, इटली जैसे देशों में कोविड-19 के केसों में और कोविड से मृत्यु की संख्या में सतत वृद्धि देखी जा रही है। पिछले कई दिनों से मीडिया में भी चीन में बड़ी तादाद में कोविड के केस और कोविड मृत्यु की खबरें छप रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय ने प्रोएक्टिव, प्रीएम्प्टिव, ऑल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड ऑल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच के साथ शुरू से ही कोविड-19 महामारी का मैनेजमेंट किया है और इनके बहुत अच्छे परिणाम भी हमें मिला है। तकनीकी सहायता के अलावा भारत सरकार ने नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन, राज्य आपदा प्रतिक्रिया कोष, इमरजेंसी कोविड रिस्पांस पैकेज और प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिशन के इत्यादि से राज्यों को वित्तीय सहायता प्रदान करके राज्यों को कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई के उनके प्रयासों में लगातार सहायता प्रदान की है।
Alright viewers, so basically right now what happened was that 4 cases of the Omicron variant which is driving the surge in China was found in India, and that's why the government is taking all steps to make sure that everything is under control and the cases don't increase. But Rahul Gandhi has another version of events. He says that the COVID threat does not exist, is just an excuse by the BJP to stop his Bharat Jodo Yatra. Listen in.
नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी कि कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। अब भैया मतलब अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं। मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं। ये सच्चाई। और देखिए यात्रा में, देखिए मैं आपको मजेदार बात बताता हूं। यात्रा में अब हम 100 दिन से ज्यादा चले हैं। इसमें हिंदू, मुसलमान, सिख, ईसाई, हर जात के लोग, महिला, पुरुष, बच्चे, 5 साल के बच्चे, सब चले हैं। इसमें किसी ने किसी से नफरत नहीं की। मैंने अपने आंखों से देखा है, लाखों लोग चले हैं। किसी ने किससे ये नहीं पूछा कि भाई तुम्हारा धर्म क्या है, तुम कहां से आए हो।
All right, viewers, on your screen, PM Modi's key meeting, the visuals on your screen right now. First on Republic, only first on Republic, and I'm being joined by our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor as well. Abhishek, the visuals have come in fact, which our viewers can see very, very closely. The Prime Minister masking up in the Parliament and now chairing that very key meeting on COVID.
Well, yes, the pictures have come just now, and let's keep them on air. Let's keep them on air for a while. Shivangi and Prime Minister can be seen, along with, of course, the Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya and the entire top health administration, with the associated agencies like the ICMR and representatives of NTAGI and INSACOGI and the Niti Aayog. All those people are there to give a Prime Minister a lowdown. In fact, I am told the meeting started sharp at 3:30 and it's going on even now. And it is expected that this might be there. The meeting might go on for another 20-25 minutes, and then we would know exactly what transpired and if any decisions have been taken in terms of building up on the instructions that have already been passed by the Union Health Ministry over the last 48 hours in terms of COVID appropriate behavior, and asking the states to get involved, do their own set of reviews and check for themselves what needs to be done, apart from, of course, making sure that whatever cases are coming of COVID, they are subjected to genome sequencing, and we know which variant is spreading in India as of now. These are important decisions, important measures that need to be taken so that we as a nation and a society stay ahead of the curve, and the government has an important role to play. That's why this meeting taking place, the pictures of which are on air now, with the Prime Minister chairing and reviewing the situation in the country as of today.
Right. And Abhishek, we can see the visuals very clearly. In fact, our viewers are watching these visuals of the Prime Minister's key meeting on COVID exclusively and first on Republic TV. And Abhishek, you know what is very interesting is that this is the time for India to be a leader when it comes to containing COVID, because we saw the Prime Minister also leading from the front. He wore the mask in the parliament. Other BJP MPs were also wearing the mask in the parliament. While on the other hand, we saw that comment come in from Rahul Gandhi, who is completely dismissing the COVID threat.
Well, one wishes that the opposition was, in line with what is required of every arm of the government. And opposition plays an important role. Remember, there have been voices from within the Congress, for example, outside Parliament, Shivangi, where they have been asking for a status update on what's happening on COVID in the light of the surge that is getting reported from China, not just in terms of numbers, but in terms of severity of symptoms and even deaths. So in that sense, opposition, as I said, could have been more responsible. But in the pictures, we are seeing the top levels of government really getting into it. And apart from Prime Minister, there is Union Home Minister. As I mentioned earlier, the Epidemics Act is administered by the Union Home Ministry, and that's why the Home Minister has to be there. And then you have Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia, obviously because whatever number of cases we have seen of BF7, the latest variant, they have been reported in people who have had some contact with people coming from outside. 3 in Gujarat, 1 in Odisha. So I think what is important is that collectively, everyone, every arm of the government, every organization associated with pandemic management is on the same page, and that's why this review, which is seeing Prime Minister chairing the meeting and relevant ministries and departments and agencies and bodies together there. We would, as I said, the meeting has gone on for about 40 minutes now, will go on for another 20-25 minutes, and then we would have some status update if any decisions have been taken beyond a review. That is the basic objective of this meeting, Shivangi.
Right. And Abhishek, also we are seeing all the visuals on a screen where we are seeing the top ministers at the meeting. We are seeing that top ministers are there at the meeting. And speaking about the kind of message that is coming in from the government, remember that, Abhishek, and let's tell our viewers the same thing, that basic protocols have to be followed. That is a message which has come out from even the top doctors' body, saying that masking up, social distancing, and avoiding foreign travel. Now, that is also going to be something very, very big, Abhishek, at this point of time. It looks like that at this point of time, India taking that first lead. You know, Abhishek, it's all about taking that first lead, because that first lead can really, really stop hundreds of cases. When that first step is taken to stop even one case, 100 cases are stopped at the same time, Abhishek, because COVID-19 spreads so fast.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. In fact, much of the issues are sorted, Shivangi, if you are following the COVID-appropriate behavior in terms of masking, in terms of social distancing norms, in terms of avoiding crowded places. And of course, now it's been about 3 years, so most of us are fully vaccinated, not just double vaxxed, but with booster doses as well. And that's the difference between India and China. So because the Chinese followed the zero COVID policy, or the Chinese communist state imposed a zero COVID policy with severe lockdowns, not entire population is immune. A great majority of them have not been vaccinated. The efficacy of the Chinese vaccine has been under doubt, despite the fact that the WHO was very benign towards the Chinese and gave approval to Sinovac, for example, in the month of May 2021 against India, which was given approval towards the end of the year. In 2020, I beg your pardon. So in that sense, I think India presents a model of mass vaccination and responsible conduct vis-a-vis the Committee of Nations. We have supplied both the medicines, the hydroxychloroquine and the vaccines to over 150 plus nations around the world taken together. And subsequently, we have made sure that a massive vaccination drive rolled out across the country, which led to a situation where a great mass of citizenry is fully vaccinated and a good number with booster doses as well. That gives a measure of immunity, but even then you can't be complacent because as yet this latest variant is an unknown entity in terms of what it does by way of symptoms and post-COVID consequences in terms of the impact on health, and that needs to be studied, and that's why this review is very important, so that the entire health administration, not just at the center but in the states, right up to the district level, is on the same page and they are fully prepared to deal with any fallouts. We are also getting that there is this vaccine maker SII which has sought DGCI not for Covovax as a booster dose. Now, these parallel developments will continue, but what is important is that the health administration is fully prepared to take care of any fallout. Remember, the pictures we are getting from China are distressing. We need not panic because we are different at this stage of the pandemic in terms of the population being a little more immune than the Chinese because they did not follow those basics because of their strict COVID policy. But this review is important so that all arms of the government know where exactly we stand, where exactly they stand, what needs to be done going forward, and a general review of what is the potential of this latest variant of the COVID virus.
Absolutely, absolutely, Abhishek. And as our viewers are watching Republic TV and we are getting you all the updates right now, it's very important to also understand, Abhishek, and if you could tell our viewers more about it. We were kind of seeing that things might lead this way because in the past few months we were seeing that the people in China were extremely unhappy with Xi Jinping. We were also seeing how the official mouthpiece of the Communist Party was praising Xi Jinping for controlling the pandemic. But the reality was something else. The reality is exposed right now. In the past couple of weeks, Abhishek, we are seeing news of deaths, COVID infections, and we're also seeing news of anger among the people of China. Now, the point is, Abhishek, right now, what really went wrong? And right now, of course, PM Modi taking the lead to make sure that India is protected. In fact, if you could tell our viewers more about this, India is keeping an eye on international travelers from China as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the basic minimum we need to do. Remember, I'm getting an echo if the PCR can really fix it. Also, the fact that the first wave of pandemic really spread from China, and because the Chinese were opaque, not transparent, perhaps not even honest, the world paid a price. So this time, proactively, if we can really stop the Chinese, because they are going to be the center of the spread this time. If we can really stop the pandemic and the virus from spreading out of China, and the best way obviously is to control the number of flights, try to make them zero. In fact, a decision has already been taken that no direct flights from China would be allowed, and this review meeting perhaps might also take a call on whether even those indirect flights that are coming in from Singapore and Hong Kong should be allowed, given the fact that people hopping on from one flight to another can still carry the virus. And remember, of the 4 cases that have come, 3 at least are of those who have had a direct history of travel outside of India or came in contact with somebody who had traveled from abroad. So, all those aspects, what are the symptoms, what is the severity, what's the scalability, what's the virality, what are the medicines required? Because remember, with every wave, we saw how the medicines, the protocols of treatment, everything kept changing with the variant and the wave. So whether it's going to be very different this time or same as last time, initial accounts suggest that the strain is not very dangerous vis-a-vis, say, a Delta variant of the virus, which happened in the second wave and really played havoc with the society at large in terms of those affected and those dying. But still, precaution, as they say, is better than cure, and that's why this review meeting gets significance. Also remember the kind of politicking we are seeing amidst that, for the government to remain steady and to make sure that all the arms of health administration from the center right down to the districts are together or come together to make sure that we contain it is going to present a model of how India has really, been on top of this virus in this possible fourth wave. So these are important measures that might be deliberated upon in this meeting, and in fact I am told that the meeting is almost coming to an end. In another 15 minutes we should be knowing whether any more decisions have been taken beyond whatever guidelines have been issued in the last 48 hours, Shivangi.
All right, that was our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor helping us understand the significance of the Prime Minister's meet right now. Viewers, it's high time that all Indians take that first step to make sure that this variant of COVID-19 does not spread further. Every Indian should mask up like the government is advising everyone to do. One person who does take precautions can in fact save more than 100 people from being infected. In fact, let's go ahead and play out what the Union Health Minister has said in Parliament today. He has made it very clear that COVID is not over in India yet and the COVID virus is mutating.
अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कड़ा कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रेस्पिरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाना चाहिए। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे पर विदेश से आने वाले हवाई यात्रियों के 2% कोविड आरटी-पीसीआर रैंडम सैंपलिंग भी आज शुरू कर दी गई है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी के समर्थ नेतृत्व में भारत पहले से ही अमल में टेस्ट, ट्रैक, ट्रीट, वैक्सीनेशन, कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर का पालन नीति के साथ कोविड मैनेजमेंट कर रहा है, उसे आगे भी चालू रखेंगे। इस वैश्विक महामारी के नियंत्रण के लिए हम संकल्पित हैं और इसके लिए सभी आवश्यक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। मैं सदन के सभी साथियों से सरकार के इन प्रयासों में सहयोग चाहता हूं। सभी माननीय सदस्य लोगों के बीच में जागरूकता लाए कि वैश्विक महामारी अभी पूरी तरह से खत्म नहीं हुई है और हमें कोविड वैक्सीन का प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाने के उपरांत सभी को सतर्क रहकर कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना चाहिए। हमारा दुश्मन कोविड वायरस समय समय पर अपना स्वरूप बदल रहा है और हमें एक साथ मिलकर दृढ़ संकल्प के साथ उसके खिलाफ अपनी सामूहिक लड़ाई जारी रखने की लगातार जरूरत है।
You're watching Republic TV. PM chairing the COVID review meeting along with him, HM Amit Shah and Jyotiraj Scindia, and Union Health Minister is present. All the updates and breakings regarding COVID-19 pandemic and this new variant BF.7 only on Republic TV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break.
In the battle between content and landing, the nation decides. Republic is the winner. Slice and dice, landing channels run for cover. Content wins, landing loses. Republic, the All India #1.
जैन 2022 से अब तक रोहन 6 बार डंप हुआ है। हर गर्लफ्रेंड को एक्स के नाम से जो बुलाया। बट रोहन वो तो लहरा रहा है, क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो। एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए।
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी ज़रूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? भैया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
उनको ये समझ में नहीं आया है कि हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं, हम रुकने वाले नहीं हैं। दो बातें वो समझ जाए, ना डरेंगे ना रुकेंगे। ये दो बातें समझ जाए। राहुल गांधी जी ने इसको पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश में आने से पहले पूरे भारतवर्ष में इस बात को कहा है और उस बात पर हम अडिग हैं। हम लोग सब उस पर मजबूती के साथ खड़े हैं और अगर वो देखना चाहते हैं कि हमें कितना हम में हिम्मत है और कितना हमें विश्वास है, तो हमको देख लें। वो
रोकने के लिए भी कहा है क्योंकि कोविड को बता रहे हैं कि
अरे वो रोकेंगे तब हम देखेंगे, देखते हैं वो कैसे रोकेंगे।
इससे कोविड फैल सकता है।
वो जो कर रहे हैं उससे कोविड फैल सकता है। उन्होंने जो कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे नहीं कोविड फैल रहा है। जो उन्होंने कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे कोविड नहीं फैल रहा है। सच्चाई जो है, जो सत्य है और जो वास्तविकता है, उसको हमारे साथ वो शेयर कर लें।
तो मास्क पहनने लगे आज ही।
अरे पीएम मास्क पहनने लगे, आप नहीं पहन रहे हैं। जब आप पीएम की नहीं मानते।
2014
एक दिन मैं सोते सोते गिर गया और मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ। पता है किसने किया? घोस्ट ने। मेरा दोस्त है, वो हर बार मुझे बचा लेता है। घोस्ट को कैसे पता मैं अंधेरे से डरता हूँ? घोस्ट मेरा दोस्त है, मिलोगे?
अरे कोई घोस्ट नहीं, रोनी के पापा ही हैं जो उसे सेफ रखते हैं। जैसे हैवेल्स लाइफ शील्ड वायर्स, जो दिखते नहीं पर घर को सेफ रखते हैं। ना आग पकड़े ना जहरीली गैस छोड़े। वायर्स दैट डोंट कैच फायर।
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharti Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Whenever I had ice cream or cold water, I would experience a sharp shooting sensation, so I just kept ignoring it. Even my hot chai was giving me the same amount of discomfort. My dentist recommended Sensodyne, so now I can be completely carefree and sip my hot cup of tea. It really works.
Amidst a global alarm over COVID cases, the Prime Minister chairs a key review meet on preparedness. From the national capital to the state of Karnataka, states now swing into action mode as India is on a COVID alert.
अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं। सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से ये लोग डर गए हैं।
But Rahul Gandhi remains defiant. He mocks the COVID threat, calls this a quote-unquote excuse to stop the yatra.
come you see how vibrant we are, how colorful we are, how we have contributed in building up of this great nation.
TMC leader mocks a traditional Meghalaya attire. The Assam Chief Minister gives right back. Trouble mounts for Vadras in the Bikaner land deal case as the High Court dismisses the plea. A very good evening. Thank you for staying with us here on Republic. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. Our clear spotlight is on the ever-evolving situation when it comes to the COVID-19 cases, the new variant, and how prepared is India to deal with it. Remember, the Prime Minister, sharp at 3:30 earlier, has held a review meeting. In fact, he's spoken to a lot of state chief ministers, officials, to actually understand what is it that we as a country can do to ensure that any impact is mitigated and we as a country are well prepared to deal with the ever-evolving situation. Earlier in the day, also the Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has put out a full detailed statement on what is the country's preparedness. In fact, what has also happened is that we do see the mask protocol back in that meeting that the Prime Minister chaired also earlier in the Parliament. There's a good amount of politics that's already being played on it, but for the moment, let's also listen in to what we heard from the Health Minister.
वैश्विक कोविड महामारी को देखते हुए मैं सदन में एक स्टेटमेंट देना चाहता हूं। कोविड महामारी आज तक दुनिया के स्वास्थ्य और आजीविका को प्रभावित कर रही है। पिछले 3 वर्षों में वायरस की निरंतर बदलती प्रकृति ने वैश्विक स्वास्थ्य के लिए एक खतरा पैदा कर दिया है, जिसने लगभग हर देश को प्रभावित किया है। पिछले कई दिनों से पूरी दुनिया में कोविड-19 के केसों में वृद्धि दर्ज की जा रही है, लेकिन पिछले 1 साल में भारत में कोविड केसों में सतत कमी दर्ज होती रही है। वर्तमान में प्रत्येक दिन औसतन 153 कोविड के नए केस पूरे देश में दर्ज हो रहे हैं, जिसके सामने पूरी दुनिया में प्रतिदिन 5,87,587 लाख कोविड के नए केस दर्ज हो रहे हैं। जापान, साउथ कोरिया, यूएसए, फ्रांस, ग्रीस, इटली जैसे देशों में कोविड-19 के केसों में और कोविड से मृत्यु की संख्या में सतत वृद्धि देखी जा रही है। पिछले कई दिनों से मीडिया में भी चीन में बड़ी तादाद में कोविड के केस और कोविड मृत्यु की खबरें छप रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय ने प्रोएक्टिव, प्रीएम्प्टिव, ऑल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड ऑल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच के साथ शुरू से ही कोविड-19 महामारी का मैनेजमेंट किया है और इनके बहुत अच्छे परिणाम भी हमें मिला है। तकनीकी सहायता के अलावा भारत सरकार ने नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन, राज्य आपदा प्रतिक्रिया कोष, इमरजेंसी कोविड रिस्पांस पैकेज और प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिशन के इत्यादि से राज्यों को वित्तीय सहायता प्रदान करके राज्यों को कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई के उनके प्रयासों में लगातार सहायता प्रदान की है। केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार ने साथ मिलकर 220.2 यानी कि 220 करोड़ कोविड वैक्सीन के टीके लगाकर कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया है, जिसमें पात्रता वाले 90% आबादी को दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं और 22.35 करोड़ आबादी को प्रिकॉशन डोज भी दिया जा चुका है। कोविड-19 के नियमन में चल रहे लगातार प्रयत्नों के अंतर्गत और विश्व में बढ़ रहे कोविड के केसों को देखते हुए केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय वैश्विक स्थिति पर नजर रख रहा है। कोविड-19 के बदलते वेरिएंट से सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के सामने जो चुनौतियां पैदा हो रही है उस पर सरकार लगातार कदम उठा रही है।
So that is what you heard from the Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia earlier speaking in the Lok Sabha. But do remember, the story obviously has also become political. At a point where the entire country is concerned because this is a matter of the nation's health, what do our netas do? Now, just about yesterday, you saw the story playing out, how the Union Health Minister had written to Rahul Gandhi and the Rajasthan Chief Minister, urging them to either follow COVID protocols or for the moment postpone the yatra. But what did the Congress do? The Congress said absolutely not. And they said this is only being done because the BJP is running scared of the kind of response the Congress is getting. And the answer, viewers, is also in these images that you see on the left of your screens right now. That is what we saw in the parliament. All the member of parliaments today are masked up. So they are following the COVID protocol. But let's listen in to what we heard earlier from Rahul Gandhi and this attempt now coming in from the Congress party to make this all out political.
अब इन्होंने नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी कि कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। अब भैया मतलब अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं। मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं। ये सच्चाई। और देखिए यात्रा में, देखिए मैं आपको मजेदार बात बताता हूं। यात्रा में अब हम 100 दिन से ज्यादा चले हैं। इसमें हिंदू, मुसलमान, सिख, ईसाई, हर जात के लोग, महिला, पुरुष, बच्चे, 5 साल के बच्चे, सब चले हैं। इसमें किसी ने किसी से नफरत नहीं की। मैंने अपने आंखों से देखा है, लाखों लोग चले हैं। किसी ने किससे ये नहीं पूछा कि भाई तुम्हारा धर्म क्या है, तुम कहां से आए हो, कौन सी भाषा बोलते हो, किसी ने नहीं पूछा। 24 घंटा इस यात्रा में लोगों ने एक दूसरे का आदर किया, गले लगे, हाथ में हाथ लेकर ये यात्रा चली है। और दूसरी बात देखो, इस यात्रा में धक्का लगता है, कोई गिर जाता है। जैसे कल हमारे पीसीसी प्रेसिडेंट गिर गए। आप इनसे पूछो, 1 सेकंड नहीं लगा, 7-8 लोगों ने इनको उठा दिया 1 सेकंड में। किसी ने ये नहीं पूछा भैया आपका धर्म क्या है, आपकी जात क्या है, तो नाम क्या है, क्या करते हो ना। हिंदुस्तानी हो, उठा देंगे आपको, नीचे नहीं गिरने देंगे। ऐसी सरकार हमें चाहिए।
Let's get you more highlights on the big COVID update right now in the country following a sudden spurt in the cases in the US, Japan, Korea, Brazil and China. The Prime Minister earlier has held a high-level meeting with Chief Ministers of State and Lieutenant Governors of Union Territories. And this is coming just a day after the Union Health Minister had also chaired a high-level meeting to review the situation in the country. The Punjab Chief Minister called for a review meeting with the State Health Minister and health officials. The meeting took place at the Chief Minister's office. Amidst a growing concern over fresh COVID-19 waves swinging into action mode, Punjab now has organized multiple special beds with oxygen. Furthermore, a liquid oxygen plant has also been set up in the state. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also held a meeting with the State Health Minister, Health Secretary and health officials at the Secretariat regarding various protocols and precautionary measures. In Madhya Pradesh too, instructions have been given to all government officials of the state to follow the guidelines of the Government of India, and they've also been directed to ensure that there is genome sequencing done of the samples.
नए वेरिएंट को लेकर भारत सरकार का पत्र मध्य प्रदेश सरकार पे आया है। मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने समस्त प्रदेश के जिलों में CMHO को निर्देशित किया है कि जो भी 2-4 नए पॉजिटिव निकलते हैं उन सभी की जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग की जाए, करा ली जाए और ऑल इंडिया मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूट को हम इसको भेजेंगे, जिससे नए वेरिएंट के बारे में जो हर बार वेरिएंट को नाम दिया जाता है BF.7 वाला या दूसरे, इस तरह से इस प्रदेश के अंदर सभी को कहा गया है।
Also in the parliament, we've seen the return of the mask mandate. The Rajya Sabha chairman Jagdeep Dhankar, the Lok Sabha speaker Om Birla were all seen wearing masks as the proceedings were held today. Some other member of parliaments were also seen masked up in the parliament.
देखिए कोविड तो क्या है, नए बहुरूपिया है, नए रूप इसके इमर्ज होते रहते हैं। अब इसके नया वेरिएंट आया है, उसमें जो है म्यूटेशन हुआ है और उसकी खबरें दूसरे विकसित देशों से आ रही हैं। वहाँ पर खबर है कि ये तबाही मचा रहा है। तो भारत में हमें सावधानी लेने में और समय रहते सब प्रिकॉशंस के लिए देश को आगाह करने में कोई किसी तरह की परेशानी या कोई संकोच नहीं होना चाहिए।
An alert was also issued by the UP government for the new variant of COVID. The Deputy Chief Minister Brijesh Parak has sent instructions to all the CMOs of the state and officers of the Medical Education Department to be more vigilant. Amidst the looming COVID-19 threat, the IMA now has also issued an advisory on the impending COVID outbreak. It has urged citizens to wear face masks in public places, maintain social distancing. It's also advised citizens right now to avoid international travel. The Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami also held a high-level review meeting with the officials of the Health Department regarding all the protocols that can be followed in the state. We've seen hectic activity also in the state of Haryana, where the Home Minister Anil Vij has said that Haryana is right now equipped and it is able to deal better with the situation. It also says that there are a number of RT-PCR testing facilities in all districts and a sufficient supply of oxygen plants. We are into a break right now, but when we come back, the TMC leader is mocking a traditional Meghalaya attire. The Assam Chief Minister hits back. Also, trouble mounts for the Vadras in the Bikaner land deal case as the High Court dismisses their plea.
Tonight, a murder will be committed. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game.
This is truly delightful.
Holy
There has been a murder. For one person, this is not a game. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again.
You must be really great at clues.
I'm very bad at dumb things.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
आइए नए उत्तर प्रदेश की क्षमता और असीमित अवसरों से सफलता की नई कहानी लिखें। यूपी ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 10 से 12 फरवरी 2023। नए भारत के ग्रोथ इंजन उत्तर प्रदेश में निवेश करें।
Invest once and enjoy guaranteed maturity with life cover with LIC's Dhan Varsha, a single premium plan for your family's security and prosperity.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
We are learning of a big development in the Disha Salyan suicide case. The Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister says that an SIT inquiry will be initiated in the case. Sandeep has more details. Sandeep, what does the statement say? What have we heard from Devendra Fadnavis? Before we go to Sandeep, let's quickly listen in to what we've just heard from the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra.
पोलिसांकडे ऑलरेडी केस आहे. या संदर्भातली जी मागणी आहे निश्चितपणे जे काही पुरावे ज्यांच्याजवळ असतील त्यांनी द्यावे. या संदर्भात SITच्या माध्यमातून चौकशी केली जाईल. दादा सामान्य ते न्यूज रिपोर्टच्या आधारावर बोलले आहेत. मुळामध्ये दिशा सालियन केस ही कधीच CBI कडे गेलेली नाही. सुशांत सिंग राजपूत केस ही CBI कडे गेलेली आहे. CBIला ज्यावेळेस विचारलं दिशा सालियनच्या संदर्भात त्यावेळेस त्यांनी सांगितलं आमच्याकडे केस नाही, आम्ही त्याचं इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन करत नाहीये, आम्ही केलेलं नाहीये. त्यामुळे त्या संदर्भातला CBIचा कुठलाही क्लोजर रिपोर्ट नाहीये.
CBI had earlier said
that
they are not investigating Disha Salyan case. This case of Disha Salyan is with Mumbai police. CBI is investigating Sushant Singh Rajput case and not Disha Salyan case.
या संदर्भात जे काही पुरावे आता मांडले जात आहेत त्या पुराव्यांच्या
I want to assure opposition that whatever proofs and evidences we get in Disha Salyan case, we will.
So you just heard from Devendra Fadnavis. Let's also get in our colleague Sandeep, who has more details on that story. You know, Sandeep, I think it's a big twist in the entire case, considering the CBI had called this accident and they had decided to actually shut down the entire case. Why don't you tell us more about where does the investigation today stand and what are your sources actually telling you about the case?
See, remember, Disha Salyan case was very
I don't think we have Sandeep.
And in fact, over the same suicide.
Okay, we'll just fix that line with Sandeep. And in the meantime, let's also get in our colleague Shavan, who has more details. Shavan, what can you tell us about where does the investigation today stand and how important, Shavan, is the statement that has been made by the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister?
Well, in fact, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister has set the cat amongst the pigeons right now with the announcement that he has made during the assembly in Maharashtra that an SIT would be set up in the Disha Salyan case. In fact, as far as the current agency looking into this matter is concerned, that is the Central Bureau of Investigation. Remember, there's no separate FIR in this entire case. To begin with, this is part of the Sushant Singh Rajput case, which is being investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, sources within the agency had already indicated just about a few months ago that in the course of the investigation of Sushant Singh Rajput, they had also looked into the case of Disha Salyan. Having said that, as of now, the Central Bureau of Investigation hasn't filed any report in this entire matter. Remember, there is no arrest that has been made in this case so far, and that is the reason why there is no pressure on the agency at this point in time to file a charge sheet in the immediate future. It is likely that the Central Bureau of Investigation is going to file a report that is based on certain forensic reports that are yet to come in. But as far as Disha Salyan case is concerned, remember the Mumbai police was initially investigating this entire matter. Later on, with a lot of criticism that the Mumbai police had to face this matter was given to the Central Bureau of Investigation to take up the case. This only after the Supreme Court had intervened. And as I mentioned earlier, Deepti, there isn't a separate Disha Salyan case that is being looked by the Central Bureau of Investigation. So it is only part of the investigation that is being carried out. As of now, there is no clarity from the CBI whether at all they consider this as a case of murder, or do they consider this as a case of natural death. That is not something that the Central Bureau of Investigation has essentially come clean on it. But having said that, if you go by the investigation that was first carried out by the Mumbai police, they had basically first registered an accidental death report, and thereafter investigation essentially revealed that this was a case of suicide. Having said that, remember, a lot of questions have essentially been raised about the shortcomings in the investigation that was carried out by the Mumbai police. But whether that stands the scrutiny of the court, that is something that one will have to wait and watch, and perhaps wait for the time till the time the Central Bureau of Investigation files its report. Now, how exactly would the SIT really function? That is not very clear at this point in time. All that the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister had to indicate is that essentially if there are any leads that anyone has, then perhaps the person can come forward to the SIT, and the SIT will be looking into the matter. Who exactly will be part of the SIT? Would it be officials from the Maharashtra police or from the Mumbai police? That clarity of the composition of the SIT is still not there.
Yes. Shravan, for the moment, thank you for adding more details to what we know. I also want to quickly take you to Alicia. She is reporting live from the Mumbai newsroom for us. Alicia, what is it that you can tell us first up of where does the investigation today stand? What do we know about the composition of the SIT? How soon it's going to be constituted? And what's going to be the timeline that we could be looking at the case, considering that the case itself, Alicia, has seen a lot of ups and downs?
Well, yes, it's a big development that has been coming from Maharashtra Assembly. But before that, let me go to BJP MLA Ram Kadam, who has joined on this broadcast. Mr. Kadam, we know that it's a big statement that has been coming from the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis, in the Assembly House, clearly mentioning that a SIT is going to be formed in this Disha Salyan case. Your reaction on this?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Kadam.
Yeah. This is an extremely serious case, and we have seen in the past how, under the leadership of Uddhav Thackeray and his government, tried to cover up this entire issue. So now there are new points raised by Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Rahul Shewale, in the Parliament, and the same issue has been raised by our MLA Nitesh Raneji today in the Assembly. Now the point is, the past government tried to cover up this issue intentionally to save one of the tall leader. Now the question is, who's that leader? Why somebody has called on her number 44 times and the name was AU. Now who's this AU? Some politicians are saying this AU is Aditya Uddhav Thackeray. So is it right, or is there some misunderstanding? So entire issue, we do not want to target any individual, but we want to give justice to her family. For that, Honorable Home Minister Devendra ji announced today that we will form SIT and will thoroughly investigate this matter.
You know, Ram Kadamji, it's a very important detail in the entire case. I want to understand, why do you believe, sir, this case has taken so long? Do you believe that this case largely became political? Why has there been no justice in the entire case?
Is some of the points in this case, and you can easily make out that there are a lot of loopholes, and there were a lot of negligence, intentionally negligence, which is by the Mumbai police, which was handled by the that time Chief Minister, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. Naturally, he is the head of the state, and that is the reason why time and again, in the past also, some of the members, including me, we were raising a voice that Disha's family should get justice. But now there are new points which has been coming up in the parliament by Mr. Honorable Member of Parliament Rahul Shewale. Now those new points are extremely serious. So we cannot ignore those points. When a responsible person like a member of parliament, he's been saying that there were a few missed calls and all the missed calls name is AU. So who is this AU? That has to be a question that has to be investigated. So that's the reason why today Devendraji announced that we will form SIT and we'll investigate this entire issue.
Okay, Ram Kadamji, I'm just requesting you to hold that phone line if possible. I'm told we also have an NCP Neta joining us. He's Hemant Takle. Hemantji, thank you for speaking to us on Republic. Thank you for your patience, sir, for holding the phone line. Do you welcome this move? Do you welcome the fact that the Maharashtra government has decided to reopen the Disha case and finally there could be some justice for her?
No. The point is, as the assembly session is on in Nagpur, there were very important issues that were being discussed by opposition, on which principally it was against the governor, and the demand was Governor Hatao. Now all those issues about the farmers and other things, they were to be discussed, and we were trying, opposition was trying to make that point in the House, to not to discuss that and divert all those things. Suddenly this issue comes up with the Rahul Shewale talking in Parliament about Disha Salyan. Now, you will recollect today itself, Thackeray Jr., he himself said, carry out any inquiry you want to carry out about. At the same time, about the AU initial belongs to some other friend of Salyan, which he has clarified and which has come on the air on the all channels that has been shown. Now, when that issue is not there, the ruling party simply doesn't want to focus onto the issues that the state is trying to take up, like Almaty Dam, raising the height and all those issues. Instead of discussing that, the issue that came when the present chief minister was the urban development minister and the Nagpur Nagpur authority, clearly when the direction was not to give that land to builders, which is valued at about 100 crore rupees, which was given at 2 crore rupees. This was meant for housing for the poor people. Now suddenly BJP's all those, they have been directed by ex-chief minister and now deputy chief minister, who actually runs the state now. Now, coming to that, if the inquiry is to be carried out, we are demanding that SIT should also be formed and inquire into the Shewale's matter also. So, both these things are simultaneously going on, and the truth shall prevail, and they cannot hide from public sector to dodge all these issues, but this will not succeed.
Mr.
We will
Hemant,
take up this issue.
Mr. Hemant, what is very important to point out at this point of time, because the Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has clearly pointed out there are some of the issues, there are some of the points that has to be come forward before the people, because in this entire investigation, not only the SIT but the Deputy Chief Minister has also requested if some of the other person has some evidence, they can come forward with the SIT. So there are some of the, you can even say that there are some of the things that has to be left out in this investigation, which is why the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister has given a probe of the SIT to the SIT.
Now those issues, which suddenly the files are closed, because after this government came in, suddenly everyone is getting clean sheet. Now, ex-chief minister was very famous about delivering clean sheets earlier in his tenure as chief minister. Now the whole exercise is being repeated, and this is surely a shameful act for democracy. We are trying. And to take care of
Himanshi, I think we're just losing your phone line, but okay. Yes, sir. If possible, why don't you also hold the phone line? We still have Ram Kadam of the BJP with us. And let's also get another reaction, Alisha. Ambadas Danve, the leader of the opposition of the Maharashtra Legislative Council from the Uddhav faction, is also joining us on the broadcast. Ambadas ji, good evening, sir. Can you hear us?
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, how would you respond? देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने अभी ये कहा है कि दिशा सालियान के केस में अब एक SIT का गठन होगा और उसके बाद दिशा सालियान को जस्टिस मिलेगा। आप इस पूरे मूव का, इस अनाउंसमेंट का स्वागत करते हैं?
इस केस में CBI जैसी यंत्रणा ने पहले ही तपास किया है। पूरा इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन CBI ने किया है, क्लियरेंस सब बातें हुई है। इसके बाद अभी जिस विषय पे ये दिशा सालियन का विषय है, उसके फैमिली ने भी इस बारे में सब मुंबई पुलिस से बात की है, इंक्वायरी हुई है। जिस तरीके से EU नाम से कहा है, वो भी जो चक्रवर्ती नाम के जो व्यक्ति है, उसने भी कहा है कि EU कौन है। और ये सब पुरानी बातें, क्योंकि हमने जो मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे का NIT का जो स्कैम है वो बाहर निकाला है, वो बाहर आया है। जो 2 करोड़ रुपए का एक प्लॉट मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी ने 83 करोड़ का प्लॉट 2 करोड़ रुपए अलॉट किया है, जो इनलीगल है। कोर्ट में इस पे ऑब्जेक्शन आया है और फिर ये जो हमने इसमें रिजाइन मांगा है एक मुख्यमंत्री जी का, CM साहब का, और इसके लिए अभी कुछ ना कुछ ये सब बातें करते हैं। तो ठीक है, इसमें भी हमने कुछ ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं लिया, लेकिन जिस सांसद ने पार्लियामेंट में इसके लिए मांग की थी, उस सांसद पे भी एक बेंगलोर के लड़के का आरोप है कि उनपे रेप का प्रयत्न, रेप हुआ है, ऐसे प्रकार का आरोप हुआ है। तो हमने मांग किया है।
देखिए अंबादास जी, बहुत सारे अनसब्सटैंशिएटेड एलिगेशंस होते हैं सर। रिपब्लिक ना उसके लिए वाउच करता है, ना ये एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां पर आप अपने पॉलिटिकल स्कोर्स को सेटल करेंगे। लेकिन देखिए, दिशा सालियान अब हमारे बीच में नहीं है, और अगर ये पता लगना चाहिए कि उनकी कैसे मौत हुई, किस परिस्थिति में हुई, क्या उनका लिंक किसी और केस के साथ था या नहीं, तो इसमें आप लोगों को क्यों दिक्कत होनी चाहिए?
तो हमने कहा दिक्कत नहीं, CBI ने इंक्वायरी की। जब हमने हमने कुछ दिक्कत नहीं की, तो अभी भी हमने कहा दिक्कत की। हमने कई
तो आप वेलकम करते हैं, आप इसका स्वागत करते हैं?
स्वागत करने की जरूरत नहीं, लेकिन अगर एक बार CBI जैसी यंत्रणा ने इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया है, तो इसका बार बार क्यों, ये हमारा सवाल है। क्योंकि आपका जो पाप है महाराष्ट्र में, वो छुपाने के लिए आप इसी प्रकार के ब्लेम लगाने का काम कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि इस महाराष्ट्र में जो सरकार काम कर रही है, भ्रष्टाचारी सरकार है। महाराष्ट्र कर्नाटक सीमा विवाद नहीं ये सरकार छुड़ा सक रही है। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज, महात्मा फुले जी, अंबेडकर जी का अवमान ये सरकार कर रही है। ये सब पाप छुपाने के लिए ऐसे विषय सामने ला रही है ये सरकार।
लेकिन अंबादास जी, दिक्कत तो देखिए यही होती है ना कि आप लोग पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं। आप सीधा सीधा ये नहीं कहते कि दिशा सालियान के लिए जस्टिस होना चाहिए। अब मुझे ये बताइए कि अगर CBI ने इन्वेस्टिगेट किया, आपके अकॉर्डिंग आप कहते हैं कि CBI ने इसको क्लोज कर दिया, तो अगर SIT होती है और सेम फाइंडिंग्स आती हैं, तो उसमें आपको क्या ऑब्जेक्शन होगा? क्योंकि NCB भी कहती है कि क्यों ये मूव हो रहा है, और आप लोग भी उसी भाषा में बात कर रहे हैं।
सुनो, आप ही लोग ऑब्जेक्शन कर रहे हैं। हमने कहा कि ये,
तो आप बोलिए ना कि आप समर्थन करते हैं। आप बोलिए कि आप समर्थन करते हैं, आप देवेंद्र फडणवीस के साथ है, दिशा सालियान को जस्टिस मिलना चाहिए।
सुनो, आप जो बोलेंगे वो हमने बोलना कंपलसरी है क्या? हम बोल रहे हैं कि हमने CBI की इंक्वायरी हो गई है, अभी हमने ये इंक्वायरी का विरोध भी किया नहीं। आप जो शब्द बोलेंगे हमने बोलना क्या जरूरी थोड़ी है? हम क्या बोलेंगे बोलना, आप थोड़ी हमको सिखाएंगे। आप थोड़े हमको सिखा सकते हैं।
इसीलिए तो आप नेता है ना, इसीलिए आप लोग नेता हैं। हमारा जॉब सर सिर्फ आपसे सवाल पूछना।
आपको
इसलिए मैंने आपसे पूछा, आप इसका स्वागत करते हैं, आप इसका विरोध करते हैं?
हमने क्या कहा है? हमने विरोध किया है क्या इसका? हमने विरोध किया है नहीं।
चलिए ठीक है,
ओके, थैंक यू।
ठीक है, अंबादास जी, आपने हमसे बात की सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। ही इज द LOP MLC there of the Uddhav faction. We've also spoken to Alisha, the BJP, the NCP. Clearly, the NCP and the Uddhav faction right now very muted in their response, Alisha, to the entire story. But why don't you come in and help us understand the significance of this entire move and what really are, you know, these allegations of a cover-up, of a foul play, alleged foul play in the entire case, Alisha, that right now makes an SIT inquiry into the case very, very important.
Well, Dipti, as far as the statement of Deputy Chief Minister and Home Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, is concerned, so let me put things into perspective, because what Devendra Fadnavis in the Assembly has clearly mentioned that this matter is something now the police, Mumbai police, who was investigating, but now the special investigating team will probe into it, and it will be in an impartial manner, without naming anyone or without targeting anyone. Moreover, he has also requested whoever has the evidence can furnish it to the Mumbai police or whether to the SIT team which is going to be formed into this case. Because we know Disha Salyan, who died on 8th June 2020, after which there was a Mumbai police who was investigating into the case, and several statements that was also been recorded. But now in this winter session which has been underway in Nagpur, and there were some of the points that has been raised by the BJP MLAs itself, and they have pointed out there are some of the evidence that has come across in this entire case. After which Home Minister of Maharashtra, that is Devendra Fadnavis, has given an answer to this, clearly mentioning that in the Disha Salyan death case, where now the SIT to be formed, SIT is going to look into this matter. Not only this, but this investigation will be into this impartial manner without targeting anyone. So whoever has the evidence can furnish it to the Mumbai police. So that was a clear instructions and the lines that has come from Devendra Fadnavis into the Disha Salyan case, because the case that has been come up in the sessions clearly mentioning there are many of the facts that has been hidden and not been investigated thoroughly, and this is for justice, for the justice of the family of Disha Salyan, because we even remember Disha Salyan family has wrote a letter even to the president clearly asking for the justice, whether the fact what has really come up during the course of investigation, whether it is a Mumbai police or whether it is Central Bureau of Investigation. But now at this point of time, we know that Maharashtra government has already reopened the case, because there are some of the foil that has been come across, and of course there are some of the points that merely need to be investigated into the case, which is why there is a clear announcement, the clear statement that has been come from the Home Minister, clearly mentioning now that this case is going to be formed. There is a SIT is going to be formed, and SIT is going to investigate into the case, and it will be in an impartial manner.
Okay, Alisha, I think it's important to take forward this story, but before we do that, I'm requesting you to stay with us, and we are just playing out the reaction we've heard from the Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, and because that entire reaction is in Marathi, my colleague Alisha is just going to be helping us with the translation also.
Mumbai police is already looking into the case. Whatever the evidence one can furnish, and the case is going to be investigated by the SIT. Whatever has been taken in the assembly is according to the news report, and we know the case is with the CBI. When asked to the CBI over the Disha Salyan case, they have already informed that they are not investigating into the Disha Salyan case. Sushant Singh Rajput case has been investigated by CBI and not Disha Salyan case. The case is still with the Mumbai police. Which is why today in the assembly, I am clearly mentioning that SIT is going to probe into the matter, and it will be impartial manner, and no one is going to get targeted. This is not a matter to target anyone. If there is new evidence,
so that is exactly what happened in the assembly earlier, and you heard Alisha there helping us understand what Devendra Fadnavis has said. He's also, remember, underscored that if there is anyone who has any evidence, they can also come forward in the entire case. So there is justice for Disha Salyan. And also, the big story, the big important update that's come in from the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister is the fact that he will now constitute an SIT, that's a special investigation team that's going to be brought together to investigate the entire case. And like we heard, both the NCP and the Uddhav Sena factions, they're right now very muted in their very first response to the entire story, but they question the timing of this announcement. They also allege that all this is being done only and only with an idea to divert the attention. But completely silent on the facts in the entire case. Do we know the whole truth in the Disha Salyan case? Right now, perhaps no. So, Alisha, let's quickly recap what has happened in the case so far and why has the case reached this point today? Alisha, the case has seen a lot of twists. We've seen a lot of political tutu meme, like they say, in the entire case. But what about the core investigation? When the CBI was investigating the case, Alisha, what did they find? What were the allegations? What were the charges? And what do we know about it so far?
Well, yes, sir. We heard Devendra Fadnavis, and he mentioned that he has taken the cognizance of the case, and specifically when it comes to the Central Bureau of Investigation. CBI was not investigating into Disha Salyan death case, but they were investigating Sushant Singh Rajput death case. Moreover, it is very important to understand, which is why the case initially was investigated by Mumbai police, and there were several statements that has also been recorded because Disha Salyan was the former manager of Sushant Singh Rajput, and the news of death has come on 8th of June 2020, after which the police has reached and the family's statement has also been recorded. But at this point of time, when Maharashtra government in the assembly clearly mentioned there are some of the evidence that has come across, and which is why it is very important to investigate into the impartial manner, and this case is not something that one can be targeted into, but it will be the SIT, the Special Investigation Team, which has been formed. They are going to be formed with the new evidence that has been come up. Because if we go through the statement of Devendra Fadnavis, who mentioned that whatever has been said and told in the assembly is over the media reports, and there are some of the fresh evidence that has been emerged, which is why it is very important to see what are the new evidence. The case is with Mumbai police, but now Maharashtra government, who is now who has been reopening the case of Disha Salyan death case, and now the special investigation team is going to be formed, and they are going to investigate with the new evidence that has been emerged.
So, what's the process from here on, Alisha, considering that the Home Department is also with the Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis? Does this mean that the Home Department will issue out a notification? We will know who all are a part of this SIT, and then we'll have a larger idea of what is the timeline we could be looking at as far as their own investigation in the case goes.
Investigation is concerned, where the statement has already been made by Deputy Chief Minister and Home Minister Devendra Fadnavis in the Assembly. So, of course, there could be a larger discussion that has also been going to happen in the cabinet meeting that is going to be happen in the coming days. But after which there will be an order that will be given by Home Minister to form a special investigation team, and there could be the panel, specifically the committee that is going to be formed, and we'll see the senior officers will be inducted in this whole SIT team, where the senior officers will look into the fresh evidence that has been emerged, because the statement that given by Devendra Fadnavis has mentioned that SIT is going to investigate into the case with the new evidence that has been emerged. So we'll see what are the new evidence that has been emerged, and moreover it will be into the SIT arm, where they're going to investigate with the new evidence. And of course the Mumbai police report that has also been given to the Maharashtra government, but back then there was no action that was initiated. But now when we see that the Home Minister has clearly mentioned that it is a SIT who is going to be formed, and they are going to investigate into the case, after which the investigation that will be conducted by SIT, the same report will be given to Maharashtra government, and there comes the Maharashtra government will decide over the what action that has to be initiated against those persons whose involvement can be seen after the investigation that will be conducted by SIT.
All right, Alisha, it's a big story right now breaking here on Republic. You've heard the Deputy Chief Minister. You've also had a lot of political reaction, and clearly This is just the beginning of a new political battle, like many would want to call it. The state of Maharashtra, daggers are drawn, but we hope that there is justice for Disha Salyan. Alisha, for the moment, thank you for speaking to us.
Giving you a quick check of the other stories of the day, TMC leader Kirti Azad had mocked Meghalaya attire. While commenting on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's attire in Shillong, he said that it's a woman's floral dress. Deputy Speaker of the Assam Legislative Assembly, Dr. Numal Momin, has condemned Kirti Azad's remark on PM Modi's attire and has demanded apology from Azad since his comment was an insult to all people of Northeast.
He is mocking our Prime Minister by saying Noriya Nari. This is really shameful on him, and this is not only an insult to our Honorable Prime Minister, and it is an insult to entire tribal people of Northeast India.
BJP MP from West Bengal, Jagannath Sarkar, has also condemned Kirti Azad and said that Azad's remarks are an attack on not just the tribal community, but the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community as well.
ममता ओनली ट्राइबल नहीं, पिछले वर्ग जितने हैं उनका ऊपर आघात है. वो SC, ST, OBC इस समाज के ऊपर आक्रमण है. ममता ने फिर भी किया, इसलिए वो ममता का क्षमा मांगना चाहिए, कीर्ति आजाद को मांगना चाहिए.
BJP spokesperson Shahzad Poonawala has called out TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee and Kirti Azad by saying that TMC has stooped to the lowest level of disrespecting and insulting traditional attire and culture of tribal community of Meghalaya and the entire Northeast.
In their hatred for one man and one party, Trinamool Congress has now crossed all the limits, with its leader Kirti Azad mocking the traditional attire worn by the Prime Minister when he was in the Northeast. This is not an attack on Prime Minister Modi, but it is in fact an attack on the culture, on the traditional attire of the tribal people of Meghalaya, of the Northeast. Why, while abusing Prime Minister Modi or the BJP, would you descend to abusing the entire Northeast and their culture? This is the mindset of the Trinamool Congress. Now the Trinamool Congress must clarify, and especially Mamata Banerjee must clarify.
Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has hit back at TMC leader Kirti Azad, who had tweeted on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's outfit during his Meghalaya visit. The Assam Chief Minister has asked the TMC to clarify its stand on Kirti Azad's tweet. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju condemned Kirti Azad over his remark on PM Modi's attire and said that he does not want to give any importance to him.
If I make a comment or a condemnation on such kind of distasteful comments, it will unnecessarily give a space to such mindset. So it's better not to comment on this.
Union Minister Rajkumar Ranjan, who hails from Manipur, also demanded apology from TMC on Kirti Azad's tweet over PM Modi's attire.
So do you think it's a disrespect to Meghalayan culture and dress and the attire?
This is respecting the personal express.
So do you demand an apology from Trinamool Congress?
Yes, they should apologize.
And if they do not, the top leaders should come out and explain.
They should not criticize the Prime Minister of the nation. These unparliamentary things they are doing.
BJP leader Kavinder Gupta slammed Kirti Azad and further added that Azad was the same leader who once used to praise the Prime Minister and is now insulting him.
कीर्ति आजाद ये वही हैं जो पहले प्रधानमंत्री की किसी वक्त तारीफ किया करते थे. जब कभी जो इनकी एक इच्छा रहती है वो पूरी नहीं होती तो इस प्रकार की भाषा बोलनी शुरू कर देते हैं. मुझे लगता है कि बिना किसी कारण से इस प्रकार की बातें जो की जाती हैं जिसका कोई औचित्य नहीं है. और कीर्ति आजाद वही हैं जिन्होंने कभी प्रधानमंत्री जी के तारीफ में कई बार पुल बांधे होंगे, लेकिन आज टीएमसी में जाके उनकी भाषा बदलनी स्वाभाविक बात है.
And we're heading into a short break right now. After the break, we'll get you details of what Rahul Gandhi has said. He remains defiant, refuses to call off his Bharat Jodo Yatra. And trouble mounts for Vadra's in Bikaner land case as High Court dismisses plea.
सोच रहा हूँ कमेंट्री ट्राई करूँ। मैच का आखिरी बॉल, तेज तूफानी डिलीवरी, एक धमाकेदार शॉट और ये गया छक्का।
छक्का नहीं, टूटा। आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए MY के लेटिक्रीट टाइल एडेसिव। फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल न टूटेगा न छूटेगा।
Guys, just 1 second. Choosing a car for my mom. What? Online car shopping? Wow, that's so cool, yeah. शाहरुख ने बताया.
Wait up. Booking a car service.
From here.
क्यों? तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं। There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
And we return back with the big story of this hour. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis made a big statement on the floor of the House in the Maharashtra Assembly. He said that there will be a special investigation team that will be constituted to investigate the Disha Salyan case, the death case that was shrouded in mystery in 2020. Devendra Fadnavis saying that this case will be investigated, and if there is any evidence with anybody, they should come forward and give it to the SIT for further investigation. He also said that there was no closure report by the CBI in this particular case. We will listen in to that reaction coming in from Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister.
ऑलरेडी केस आहे, या संदर्भातली जी मागणी आहे निश्चितपणे जे काही पुरावे ज्यांच्याजवळ असतील त्यांनी द्यावे, या संदर्भात SITच्या माध्यमातून चौकशी केली.
Devendra Fadnavis is saying that if anybody has proof, they should come forward and give it to the SIT that will be constituted.
मुळामध्ये दिशा सालियन केस ही कधीच CBI कडे गेलेली नाही.
Disha Salyan case was never with the
सुशांत सिंग
CBI.
राजपूत केस ही CBI कडे गेलेली आहे.
Sushant Singh Rajput case was with the CBI.
विचारलं दिशा सालियनच्या संदर्भात, त्यावेळेस त्यांनी सांगितलं आमच्याकडे केस नाही.
When CBI was questioned on the Disha Salyan case, they said that they don't have that case.
त्या संदर्भातला CBIचा कुठलाही क्लोजर रिपोर्ट नाही आहे.
There is no CBI closure report in the Disha Salyan case.
ही केस आहे, त्या संदर्भात त्यांनी काही फॉरेन्सिकचे रिपोर्ट दाखवलेले आहेत किंवा सांगितलेले आहेत.
CBI has shown forensic reports in connection with the Sushant Singh Rajput case.
विरोधी पक्षात बसलेल्या लोकांनाही आश्वस्त करू इच्छितो.
I would like to assure everybody in this house, even the opposition leaders,
या संदर्भात जे काही पुरावे आता मांडले जात आहेत, त्या पुराव्यांच्या आधारावर कुठलाही राजकीय अभिनिवेश किंवा कोणाला टार्गेट
that based on the evidence that is being brought forward in the Disha Salyan case, without any political prejudice, there will be an investigation. And the NCP and Shiv Sena Uddhav faction has opposed the reopening of the Disha case. We will first listen in to what Shiv Sena Uddhav camp leader Sanjay Raut has said.
अशा तपास यंत्रणेच्या माध्यमातून तपासून सुद्धा या प्रकरणात सुशांत सिंग राजपूत आणि सगळा विषय हा पूर्ण झाला, तपास पूर्ण झाला.
Sanjay Raut is saying that
सिद्ध झालं.
the central agencies have conducted an investigation into the Sushant Singh Rajput case.
तरीही काल हा विषय काढून महाराष्ट्राच्या विधानसभेपर्यंत नेण्यात आला. याचं कारण एकच,
and despite the CBI reports, this case was once again raked up in the assembly.
महाराष्ट्राच्या मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी केलेला नागपूर NITचा भूखंड घोटाळा आणि त्याच्यावर सुरू असलेला गदारोळ आणि त्यातून
This case was deliberately raked up in the assembly
राजीनामा द्यावा लागणार.
to derail and divert attention from the real scams.
इथे हा विषय काढण्यात आला आणि तो मुंबईत महाराष्ट्रात नेण्यात आला.
And we're heading into a short break right now. After the break, we'll get you details of the various measures that state governments are taking in order to combat COVID. And TMC leader has mocked the traditional Meghalaya attire. BJP's Himanta Biswa Sarma is giving it back to TMC leader Kirti Azad.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
क्या हुआ रोहन? क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है.
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा करके रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में.
एनपीएस में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है. वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं.
बात में तो दम है.
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है.
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ.
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा-थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं.
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं. एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है.
आज की पेशकश
अच्छी है, पर ये चाय रोज मिलेगी?
रिटायर होने वाला हूँ, रोज नहीं, लाइफ लॉन्ग मिलेगी, ये मेरी गारंटी है.
कुछ चीजों का साथ हमेशा होना चाहिए, जैसे HDFC लाइफ एन्युटी प्लान्स, जो दे लाइफ लॉन्ग मंथली गारंटीड इनकम. HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो.
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
.2% across India, 35% across English markets, 46% across super prime time, 43% across urban India. Channels that spend crores lose to content. Content wins, landing loses. Republic, the All India #1.
Maharashtra Deputy CM puts focus back on Disha Salyan case, orders SIT inquiry. Amidst global alarm over COVID-19, Prime Minister Modi chairs a key meet on readiness.
अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं, सब बहाने हैं. हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से ये लोग डर गए हैं.
But Rahul remains defiant, mocks COVID alert and says it's an excuse to stop his yatra. Big setback to Vadra. Vadra aid plea on the Bikaner land deal dismissed.
Just one response from sir.
पुलिस केस करो इनके ऊपर.
पुलिस केस करो इनके ऊपर.
Robert Vadra loses cool on media when questioned on the land deal. Why is he panicking?
You come, you see how vibrant we are, how colorful we are, how we have contributed in building up of this great nation.
TMC leader faces backlash for mocking tribal attire of Meghalaya. Viewers, we're live and breaking this Thursday. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Big news coming in right now. In a big development in the Disha Salyan suicide case, Maharashtra Deputy CM has said that the SIT now, I repeat, SIT inquiry will be initiated in the case. Viewers, this is a big story we're tracking at this point of time, where we're getting to know, viewers, that Fadnavis said in the State Assembly, I repeat, he has made a statement in the State Assembly that a special investigation team will be formed to conduct a probe into the death of Disha Salyan, the former manager of the late actor Sushant Singh Rajput. And let's go straight to Alisha. Alisha, very, very significant update coming in. Tell our viewers why this is a significant move.
Well, yes, Shivangi, because we know there are some of the evidence that has been come across, and importantly, where the Maharashtra Assembly session that has been underway in Nagpur, there are some of the points that was made out in the Disha Salyan death case, and also has mentioned that there is fresh evidence that has been emerged and that has need to be investigated. After which, the statement from Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister and Home Minister Devendra Fadnavis has made it very clear whether the fact the case is with the Mumbai police, Central Bureau of Investigation that were investigating only Sushant Singh Rajput case and not a Disha Salyan case. So which is why at this hour, when there are the fresh evidence that has been emerged, so it's very important to form a special investigation team. So now there is a SIT team who is going to be formed, and now there is a new fresh evidence, because Devendra Fadnavis has also mentioned that this investigation has to be in a very impartial manner. Also requested if some people have a new fresh evidence, they can furnish it to the Mumbai police, because here the SIT which is going to be formed, and now they are going to investigate it into the entire case. Now, as far as this case is concerned, because as I mentioned, there are some evidence that has been emerged, after which whether the Home Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, has come up with the statement mentioning we are not going to target anyone, but this is something for the justice of Disha Salyan. This is justice for the family of Disha Salyan, because we remember in 2020, or when the family of Disha Salyan has wrote a letter even to President asking for the justice, the fair and partial investigation, impartial investigation that has to be conducted by the police, but there were no conclusion that has been come up, and it's been 2 years now, and that something has been raised in this assembly. Nearly mentioned that there are evidence that has come up, and the investigation has to be conducted, and there comes Devendra Fadnavis, who clearly mentioned about it, that this investigation, the case is going to be reopened, where the special investigation team, they are going to be formed with the new evidence that has been emerged. Also, this investigation will be in an impartial manner, and no one will be targeted.
Right, and what's very interesting, Alisha, is that because of the mysterious, I repeat, the mysterious nature of the death of Disha Salyan, for a very long time, leaders of the BJP have been demanding a probe into that death. In fact, let's go ahead and play out all the reactions we are getting, starting off with what did Devendra Fadnavis say in the State Assembly.
ऑलरेडी केस आहे, या संदर्भातली जी मागणी आहे, निश्चितपणे जे काही पुरावे ज्यांच्याजवळ असतील त्यांनी द्यावे. या संदर्भात एसआयटीच्या माध्यमातून चौकशी केली जाईल. दादा आता कोण नाही, आता सामान्य ते न्यूज रिपोर्टच्या आधारावर बोलले आहेत. मुळामध्ये दिशा सालियन केस ही कधीच सीबीआय कडे गेलेली नाही. सुशांत सिंग राजपूत केस ही सीबीआय कडे गेलेली आहे. सीबीआयला ज्यावेळेस विचारलं दिशा सालियनच्या संदर्भात, त्यावेळेस त्यांनी सांगितलं आमच्याकडे केस नाही, आम्ही त्याचं इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन करत नाहीये, आम्ही केलेलं नाहीये. त्यामुळे त्या संदर्भातला सीबीआयचा कुठलाही क्लोजर रिपोर्ट नाहीये. सीबीआयच्याकडे सुशांत सिंग राजपूत ही केस आहे, त्या संदर्भात त्यांनी काही फॉरेन्सिकचे रिपोर्ट दाखवलेले आहेत किंवा सांगितलेले आहेत. आणि मी आपल्या मार्फत या सभागृहाला किंवा विरोधी पक्षात बसलेल्या लोकांनाही आश्वस्त करू इच्छितो की कुठलाही राजकीय अभिनिवेश न ठेवता या संदर्भात जे काही पुरावे आता मांडले जात आहेत, त्या पुराव्यांच्या आधारावर कुठलाही राजकीय अभिनिवेश किंवा कोणाला टार्गेट करण्याचा विषय याच्यात होणार नाही. अतिशय निष्पक्षपणे नवीन पुरावे जर काही आले असतील तर त्या संदर्भातली चौकशी होईल.
अशा तपास यंत्रणेच्या माध्यमातून तपासून सुद्धा या प्रकरणात सुशांत सिंग राजपूत आणि सगळा विषय हा पूर्ण झाला, तपास पूर्ण झाला.
The investigation over Sushant Singh Rajput and Disha Salyan has already been completed.
इतर अनेक विषय त्याला जोडले गेले.
There are the other points that has been joined in this entire case.
याचं कारण एकच, ते म्हणजे 2 दिवसापासून
the only reason where this topic has been taken in the assembly is just because since 2 days opposition leaders has been asking for the chief minister to resign over the land case. And the corruption that has been done by the chief minister is something has to be investigated and he has to resign.
Now, in fact, you were translating those sound bites for us as well. And you know what is very interesting is that the leader of opposition, Ajit Pawar, is saying on one hand that this should not be viewed from any political angle. We're getting many reactions. In fact, we have spoken to the NCP as well. We have spoken from the Uddhav faction as well. Take us to the reactions coming in across the political spectrum.
Well, yes, there is a question that has been raised by the opposition party now, because we heard Sanjay Raut who clearly mentioning that the Disha Salyan case, which has already been closed, and now that has been brought up in the assembly just because since 2 days there is the resignation, there is a continuously demand by the opposition party to for the chief minister to step down as a chief minister for the Eknath Shinde. But after which this matter has been come up, and this is nothing but a political vendetta is what Sanjay Raut has been saying. And also we even heard Ajit Pawar, who is also mentioning that the case which has already been closed but now has been brought in the assembly is something, a matter where we have to look, because here there is continuously in the assembly they have been asking for for Eknath Shinde to resign as the chief minister. But as far as this case is concerned, because there are new other evidence that has been emerged, which is why here's the deputy chief minister and home minister of Maharashtra, Fadnavis, clearly mentioning that it will be SIT who is going to investigate into the case with the new evidence that has been emerged. Because the BJP MLAs in the assembly has been clearly mentioning there are evidence, and the investigation that was conducted by Mumbai police is something not fair. There are some of the new evidence that has been emerged. That something has to be looked forward, which is why now this all investigation into the Disha Salyan case, because it's also been clarified by Deputy Chief Minister, mentioning that only the CBI was only looking after Sushant Singh case and not the Disha Salyan case. So here the Mumbai police were only the agency who were looking and investigating into the case. But now with the new evidence that has been emerged, so it will be now special investigation team which is going to investigate into the case, and it will be in impartial manner and not to target anyone.
Absolutely, Alisha, and keep us ahead on the story. Alisha getting us top updates as the big focus is reopen the Disha case, hashtag reopen the Disha case. That is also going to be discussed later on by our editor-in-chief, Arnab Goswami, later on. On that note, of course, we will continue tracking all the latest developments as the Maharashtra government reopens the Disha Salyan's death case, as Fadnavis has ordered the SIT probe.
अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कड़ा कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रिस्पायरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाना चाहिए। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे पर विदेश से आने वाले हवाई यात्रियों के 2% कोविड RT-PCR रैंडम सैंपलिंग भी आज शुरू कर दी गई है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी के समर्थ नेतृत्व में भारत पहले से ही अमल में टेस्ट, ट्रैक, ट्रीट, वैक्सीनेशन कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर का पालन नीति के साथ कोविड मैनेजमेंट कर रहा है उसे आगे भी चालू रखेंगे। इस वैश्विक महामारी के नियंत्रण के लिए हम संकल्पित हैं और इसके लिए सभी आवश्यक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। मैं सदन के सभी साथियों से सरकार के इन प्रयासों में सहयोग चाहता हूं। सभी माननीय सदस्य लोगों के बीच में जागरूकता लाए कि वैश्विक महामारी अभी पूरी तरह से खत्म नहीं हुई है और हमें कोविड वैक्सीन का प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाने के उपरांत सभी को सतर्क रहकर कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना चाहिए। हमारा दुश्मन कोविड वायरस समय समय पर अपना स्वरूप बदल रहा है और हमें एक साथ मिलकर दृढ़ संकल्प के साथ उसके खिलाफ अपनी सामूहिक लड़ाई जारी रखने की लगातार जरूरत है।
Viewers, much more coming up on the other side. Rahul Gandhi remains defiant, mocks COVID alert and says it's an excuse to stop his yatra. Plus, Robert Vadra loses cool on media when questioned on the Bikaner land deal. Why is he panicking?
Robert Vadra loses cool after court setback. Vadra in panic as court refuses to quash case. Why is Vadra spooked by land deal question? Ornav debates at 10 p.m.
में सुबु ने कंसिस्टेंटली अंडर परफॉर्म किया और 3 बार डिमोट होकर भी दिखाया, पर सुबु तो उड़ रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए।
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Top updates, viewers, following the sudden spurt in COVID-19 cases in the US, Japan, Korea, Brazil, China. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is sharing right now, going ahead and holding that and chairing that high-level meeting with the chief ministers of states and the lieutenant governors of union territories as well. This comes a day after Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya chaired a high-level meeting to review the COVID-19 situation in India. Punjab CM Maan has called for a review meeting with the state health minister and health officials. Meeting took place at the chief minister's office. Amidst growing concerns over fresh COVID-19 wave swinging into action mode, Punjab has organized 790 special bed with oxygen level 2 and ICU beds. Furthermore, liquid oxygen plants have also been set up in the state. Tamil Nadu CM M.K. Stalin held a meeting with the state health minister and the health secretary and health officials at the secretariat regarding COVID protocols and precautionary measures to be taken. In Madhya Pradesh, instructions have been given to all the government officials of the state to follow the guidelines of the Government of India. Furthermore, they have been directed as to how to get the genome sequencing done of those found positive.
नए वेरिएंट को लेकर भारत सरकार का पत्र मध्य प्रदेश सरकार पे आया है। मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने समस्त प्रदेश के जिलों में CMHO को निर्देशित किया है कि जो भी 2-4 नए पॉजिटिव निकलते हैं उन सभी की जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग की जाए, करा ली जाए और ऑल इंडिया मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूट को हम इसको भेजेंगे, जिससे नए वेरिएंट के बारे में जो हर बार वेरिएंट है इनको नाम दिया जाता है BF.7 वाला या दूसरे, इस तरह से इस प्रदेश के अंदर सभी को कहा गया है।
Parliament to witness the return of the mask mandate, Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar and the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla was seen wearing a mask as proceedings began today. Some other MPs were also masked up in the Parliament houses.
देखिए कोविड तो क्या है, नए बहुरूपिया है, नए रूप इसके इमर्ज होते रहते हैं। अब इसके नया वेरिएंट आया है, उसमें जो है म्यूटेशन हुआ है और उसकी खबरें दूसरे विकसित देशों से आ रही हैं। वहाँ पर खबर है कि ये तबाही मचा रहा है। तो भारत में हमें सावधानी लेने में और समय रहते सब प्रिकॉशंस के लिए देश को आगाह करने में कोई किसी तरह की परेशानी या कोई संकोच नहीं होना चाहिए।
An alert was issued by the Uttar Pradesh government for the new variant of COVID. Deputy Chief Minister Brajesh Pathak has sent instructions to all the chief medical officers of the state and officers of the medical education department to be more vigilant and take steps to check new infections. Amidst a looming COVID-19 threat, the Indian Medical Association has issued advisory on pending COVID outbreak and has issued and urged citizens to wear face masks in public places and maintain social distancing. IMA has also advised citizens to avoid international travel. Viewers, getting some fresh updates coming in. The Directorate of Enforcement has provisionally, I repeat, provisionally attached 45 acres of land in Coimbatore district held in the name of a Benami company of A. Raja, the former cabinet minister, the Ministry of Environment and Forest during the period of 2004 to 2007. So trouble mounting for DMK MP A. Raja. This is the news we're getting for you right now. This update has come in where we're learning that his property has been attached as well. This is the big news coming in. And ED has found during the investigation that the real estate company has further given kickbacks to A. Raja as quid pro quo for awarding the environmental clearance around the same period in the year 2007. All right, let's go ahead to Shravan Sen, our senior editor, is joining us as well. Shravan, take us to this latest update coming in.
Well, in fact, this is the latest action being taken by the Enforcement Directorate, where they have provisionally attached about 45 acres in Coimbatore district. Now, this is in the name of a Benami company linked to a former Union Minister, A. Raja. The Enforcement Directorate essentially indicating that while he was the Minister of Environment and Forests between 2004 and 2007, he had granted certain environmental.
All right, we'll try to get back to Shravan Sen, our senior editor, getting us the latest update right now, where we are learning some big breaking coming in. The Directorate of Enforcement has provisionally attached 45 acres of land in Coimbatore district held in the name of a Benami company of A. Raja, who is the former Cabinet Minister, Ministry of Environment and Forest. And this was during the period of 2004 to 2007 when he was the Cabinet Minister. And Varshini is also joining us as well. Varshini, let's take us through this big news we're getting for now. In fact, the trouble keeps mounting for A. Raja.
Well, yes, Shivangi, this is a very important development because the ED has now provisionally attached 45 acres of land in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, which is a district in Tamil Nadu where they have added 45 acres of land, which is almost worth rupees 55 crores. And it is also purchased in the name of a Benami company. And this is also very important in this particular case that they are saying. He was also... A. Raja also...
A. Raja also was a former cabinet minister, and he is also one of the important and prominent leaders of the DMK party, and he was also a part of the cabinet from 2004 to 2007. Therefore, this case now being investigated by the ED, and also now they have attached almost 45 acres of land from Coimbatore, which is also a very important thing because in the Nilgiri district, he was also once elected from the Nilgiri districts. Therefore, it is all related and linked to each other. Therefore, this attachment is definitely seen as a very important development in this particular case by the Enforcement Directorate.
Absolutely, Varshini, and thank you for getting us all the details. So what we're learning so far is that trouble keeps mounting for A. Raja. The Directorate of Enforcement has attached 45 acres of land in Coimbatore district held in the name of a Benami company of A. Raja. We'll get you all the details, and thank you, Varshini, and keep us ahead on the story. Coming up on the other side, we continue to be live and breaking. The Maharashtra Deputy CM puts focus back on Disha Salyan case and orders a SIT inquiry. Plus, amidst global alarm over COVID-19, Prime Minister Modi chairs a key meet on the preparedness. Stay tuned.
ऑलराउंडर हम भी है। और तुम्हारा किचन? किचन कभी स्टेन्स, कभी जर्म्स, तो कभी पानी। आपके किचन और बाथरूम्स को चाहिए MYK लेटिक्रीट SP100, टाइल जॉइंट का ऑलराउंडर। MYK लेटिक्रीट SP100, जोड़ हो तो ऐसा।
भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था में $1 ट्रिलियन का योगदान और देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में ग्रोथ इंजन के रूप में अपनी भूमिका का निर्वहन करने के हेतु प्रदेश सरकार यूपी ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 2023 का आयोजन कर रही है। आर्थिक विकास में तेज रफ्तार से आगे बढ़ रहे उत्तर प्रदेश में इस समिट के माध्यम से योगी सरकार ने 10 लाख करोड़ रुपए के निवेश का लक्ष्य रखा है।
एक दिन मैं सोते सोते गिर गया और मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ। पता है किसने किया? घोस्ट ने। मेरा दोस्त है, वो हर बार मुझे बचा लेता है। घोस्ट को कैसे पता मैं अंधेरे से डरता हूँ? घोस्ट मेरा दोस्त है। मिलोगे?
अरे कोई घोस्ट नहीं, रोनी के पापा ही हैं जो उसे सेफ रखते हैं। जैसे हैवेल्स लाइफ शील्ड वायर्स जो दिखते नहीं पर घर को सेफ रखते हैं, ना आग पकड़े ना जहरीली गैस छोड़े, वायर्स दैट डोंट कैच फायर।
Yeah, Ajay, look at your dad. Will we be the same at his age?
Absolutely yes, if we plan our future like him.
How?
My father had invested in LIC's Jeevan Akshay, which gives immediate and guaranteed annuity at regular intervals, that too for life.
Wow. But do we have to wait until his age?
Absolutely not. We recently invested in LIC's new Jeevan Shanti, which gives deferred annuity, which means regular income after some years.
I see.
LIC's annuity plans give 10 annuity options and flexibility in receiving regular income. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ।
Ensuring maritime security is key to safeguarding India's security and economic well-being. With more than 90% of our trade taking place by sea routes and more than 80% of our hydrocarbon requirements being seaborne, the security of our sea lanes of communication is critical. India is also one of the largest providers of seafarers in the world. This bill will fulfill all the expectations of the UNCLOS, to which India is a signatory, for cooperation in repression of piracy in high seas. India has taken a lead on issues of maritime security at multilateral fora, as showcased by our initiative when Prime Minister chaired a session on maritime security in the UN Security Council during India's presidency in August of last year. This was the first time the maritime security was a formal agenda item at the Security Council.
Viewers, keep watching Republic TV. Coming up, this is exclusive, where you will hear more about the big setback to Vadra. The Vadra aid now plea on the Bikaner land deal has been dismissed. And Maharashtra Deputy CM puts focus back on Disha Salyan case, orders SIT inquiry. Stay tuned.
Mr. Blanc, you're the world's greatest detective, right?
In your words, there has been a murder. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
Wow!
Well, I'm out of here.
Yeah, me too.
Lock the doors. Stay in your rooms. Everyone is in danger.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Just yesterday, Munmun handed a phone to a random person to get her DP clicked. For the 5th time this year. And her phone got stolen again. But Munmun's over the moon. Because JioMart's grand finale sale is offering up to 80% off on everything. So no matter how your year's been, the ending will be smashing.
বাইরে সিকিউরিটি আর নিজের বাড়িতে এইসব
दादा बचा लिया आपने।
बेफिक्र कोलकाता जाओ, इंटरव्यू अच्छा ही होगा।
हर बंद राह ओपन हो सकती है, लगता है सिर्फ दिल। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Robert Vadra loses cool after court setback. Vadra in panic as court refuses to quash case. Why is Vadra spooked by land deal